What up, what up? This is Dave from the 5-6 Kings. And guys, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and I heard a declaration of war, is what it sounded like to me. It was a podcast where they did a McDonald's ad, and the host read it. I'm just going to say it was Locked on Dolphins with your host, Kyle Krabs. And he read a ad. Also, if you're a Dolphins fan and you don't listen to that, you got to listen to it. Kyle Krabs he's very intelligent, very informed. I'm a big fan of that podcast. He's a fan first and foremost, and then, you know, he studies the film. He's a director of scouting for the Draft Network. He's great. It's a great listen. Highly suggest it. But that's not what this is about. Kyle was he was reading an ad for McDonald's, and during the ad, he refers to McDonald's as the unofficial community center for all communities. So, like, we'll just gloss over the fact that that's a nothing statement that doesn't make sense, and, like, I don't think anyone listening out like, yeah, I agree. But we all know that Subway is the official community center for all communities. Like, what the fuck are we even talking about here? Subway, if you go to any community, they're like, here's our Subway. Check out the Subway. It's great. It's the community center. The kids go there. They learn how to play basketball and baseball. And we have a theater program in the Subway. It's the community center. Everybody knows that. You think Subway, you think community center. That's not what you think of McDonald's. And now I'm thinking you can just say unofficial and then say whatever you want behind it. You can just say the unofficial community center of all communities. So, you know, the 5-6 Kings podcast is the unofficial podcast of the NFL. You heard it here first, folks. When you think 5-6 Kings, think, oh, they're that NFL podcast. Because we're the unofficial podcast of the National Football League. Subway, you are the community center. Officially. And community, they got plenty of money. Community centers got plenty of money coming in. So Subway, give us. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. This community center has a skate park. That's where Tony Hawk learned how to skate. Tony Hawk learned how to skate at his local community center, which obviously was a Subway. Subway is good enough for Tony Hawk. They're good enough for everybody listening here. And they're good enough to give us, the unofficial podcast of the NFL, some motherfucking money. Eat fresh. Enjoy this week's episode, guys.
This the Palm Beach County anthem. All my Palm Beach County niggas, y'all put them fucking guns in there and bust them shit. Bitch, I'm from Palm Beach County, this where I'm from. When niggas get gunned down and left slugs on them guns just for fucking round. This ain't a county for you bitches to come around.
What up, and welcome to the unofficial podcast of the National Football League, the 5-6 Kings podcast. My name is David Breen. With me, as always, my dear friend and co-host, Braden Bullard. Braden, how are you, man?
I'm great, man. Now that we are the unofficial podcast of the NFL, I mean, that's great, right?
Dude, I mean, unofficially, this is a dream of mine. So, like, I unofficially could not be happier.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Me too.
Absolutely.
Unofficially.
Unofficially, of course.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm doing great. Week is, well, it's a little off for me because we're filming right now all at night in Miami. So I'm not starting till like 9, 10 p.m. So every day I'm waking up at like fucking noon. So I'm a little off right now, but I'm good. I'm great.
And for those people, like, this could be someone's, they could just see that we're doing Scream, and this is their first time listening.
Oh,
so what are you filming?
So right now I'm in the middle of filming a independent feature film that is taking place in Miami, and it is called Meeting Juan Jones. It's a fun film. It's going to be a fun ride, and yeah, I'll let you guys know when it's coming out.
What's your character's name?
It's Timothy.
Timmy.
But yeah, how about you, David? How are you doing?
My week was good, you know. The movie I'm filming is just going great. You know?
Yeah.
No, work. Well, how the fuck was my week? I worked.
Sometimes it's hard to process, you know?
Yeah. Work was work, you know.
Work is
Yesterday,
work.
the Knowles put a fucking whooping on and it's UMass, so like whatever.
Yeah.
But this is the kind they won 59-3.
That's the type of shit I like to see.
But that's the kind of like they lost to Jacksonville State this year. Like when Florida State plays teams like UMass that they should blow out.
Yeah.
It's a step in the right direction that they're blowing them out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's exciting. Jordan Travis looked good. They ran the ball real well. They got to play Chubba Purdy, who's technically still a freshman because the COVID year didn't count. They got to play him late in the game at quarterback. He threw a couple touchdowns, looked solid.
You know, a blowout always makes such a better excuse for the college kids just to get fucking shitted as well, you know?
Yeah. Rape all of your classmates.
Dude.
After a blowout like that, like you're just, you're drugging so many girls.
And at that point, it's excusable.
Yeah. You know, when if there's any Pikes listening, you might get upset by this, but I went and visited Tallahassee when I was in high school, and there was going to be a party at the Pike House, but...
Which is apparently the biggest fraternity in the world for anyone listening.
It's huge. So, like, the odds are there's a Pike listening, and they're going to be like, hey, fuck you, man.
You don't get to talk.
The party was canceled because they were under investigation because a raped girl was found in their dumpster.
No fucking way.
She wasn't dead. She was raped.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Raped
Seriously?
her? So someone. So like, I don't want to point any fingers. I'm not a psycho. I wasn't like, oh, let's see what happened with that whole Pike investigation. I never looked into that. It could have been.
But
she could have been
something
raped.
that was happening.
She could have been raped elsewhere and dumped in their dumpster. I don't know. Someone knows. I was about to say, who the hell knows? The story is broken. I'm sure someone has been.
Now we're gonna have to investigate. Because now I'm thinking,
what got to investigate shit?
True.
But what are you worried your fucking dad did it? What do you mean we got to investigate this? Because I'm thinking. No, I'm thinking the plot thickens.
Yes, I do. I think another fraternity is trying to fucking.
Oh, how awesome would that be?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're gonna get the fucking Pike fuckers.
So I don't want to investigate it.
Okay.
Because there's no way the end, unless it was your dad. There's no way the end result is as awesome as that. Because that's best case scenario.
That's a movie right there.
That is, dude, like some fucking
Let's
some
write
other
that.
frat, they rape a girl, throw in the Pike dumpster.
Yeah, we'll get those fuckers out of town.
Yeah,
We'll take over their house. They got the biggest house, bro.
Best case scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not looking at. That's what happened.
Yeah, that's
what happened.
So.
Pike, you guys were wrongfully accused. You're a bunch of great young men, and keep up the good work, boys. You're doing God's work up there. But yeah, dude, like they smashed them, which they're trending in the right direction. They got Clemson next week. Clemson's not that great this year. Clemson's 4-3, coming off a loss to Pitt. Until they do it, I will never predict Florida State to beat Clemson at Clemson. But this would be a big time to do it. This would be a big turning point for their program if they can go get a big win at Clemson.
What do you think is like the most important coaching aspect for college sports? Is it the recruiting, or is it the coaching of like bringing the team together, like forming the team, like going over the plays? Like
I think it's development.
Yeah.
Coaching, leadership, especially at that young age. Because like Willie Taggart, his first recruiting class at Florida State was like the 7th or 8th ranked class nationally. Mm-hmm. But Willie Taggart couldn't fucking coach to save his life.
So there you go.
And it regressed, and like the players didn't respect him.
Yeah.
It was I think in college it's recruiting's a huge aspect of it. You got to be able to recruit.
Yeah.
If you don't get good play, like it's not a coincidence that Alabama
But what do you
is one of the best schools every single year because they're the best recruiters, but also Nick Saban is a fucking coach.
So finding that like team chemistry is, you think, like one of the most important.
Building a program, having a culture there to where, because you're bringing in 18-year-old kids.
Yeah.
Oftentimes from like Pahokee and Belglade, like, you know, not to shit on those areas, but lower income places where like now they're in like a big time university with awesome amenities. Mm-hmm. You got to have a culture. You got to have some structure there for them to be able to go in and play and be team players.
Which makes sense.
Norvell definitely does that better than Willie Taggart.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what it looks like in a couple years, but yeah, I think trending in the right direction, and we'll see.
Okay.
Big game this weekend. I might come in next week and be like, they lost to Clemson by 6 touchdowns. Like, what the fuck is going on there? Norvell, he's calling plays. Because, like, that's one thing. There were times in the UMass game that I was watching, and, like, they line up, and I'm like, oh, I know where the ball's going on this play.
Yeah.
UMass.
And you're just someone watching at home who's, obviously you know a lot, but you shouldn't be able to be in that.
I don't know a lot. Don't you give me that much credit. I know minimal. But
but you know more than the average person for sure. So you shouldn't be the one to be able to see that.
Yeah, and
watching
like
in live time
against UMass,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. The athletes are so much better on Florida State's side. Against Clemson, we'll see what it looks like. Yeah, but I'm excited for Florida State football for the first time in a while.
Nice.
So we'll see
but
what
not
it
so
looks
much
like.
for the Fins.
Nah, I mean you really want to get me going.
I'm
huh?
digging as deep as fucking Scream.
It is what it is. Tua threw 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. They were both really bad interceptions, like one. So 4 receivers went out for a route. Running back stayed back in the block. Durham Smythe was one of those receivers, which if 4 receivers are going out running routes, and
You want him?
Durham Smythe is one of them, he should be your 4th option.
Oh, okay.
He was the worst out of the 4.
Oh, okay.
And Tua threw it into triple coverage at him. Like it's just like bad decision.
It's gonna happen.
It was a bad decision. He also threw it behind him. It was a bad throw. Like all of the boxes were checked. That like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. And it was in the end zone.
Wow.
It's like going to score, throwing an interception in the end zone can't happen. Then Xavier Howard later in the game, this in the 4th quarter, made a nice interception. They got the ball. They're on the Falcons' side of the side of the field. First play, Austin Jackson. I don't know why I said this in like week 2. That I don't know why he plays football still. And here we are, week 7. I'm still like, I don't get why he's out there doing this. Because this game, he had a bad holding call on a big 3rd down play that converted the 3rd down. Then it's 3rd and like fucking 19. They didn't get it. He gave up a blocked punt. Or not blocked punt, sorry, blocked field goal. Guy, he just completely whiffed on his block. Guy got in there, blocked the field goal. And then on this play, immediately, the ball was snapped and the guy just threw him to the ground and was fucking past him. It would be like if I tried to block Corbin, is what it looked like. That is how quickly that guy got through.
Jesus.
So, but if you're Tua, Tom Brady takes the sack there.
Yeah. But what did he do?
Tua tried to step up and throw it, and he had 0 time. It was a bad throw.
Fuck.
Bad and intercepted right after a big play on defense where you should be getting points. It's leaving points on the field. Can't do that. Other than that, Tua looked good. 2 really bad plays, awful plays.
They just ended up having the worst outcome.
Yeah, and you could say cost them the game. They lost 30-28.
But he wasn't making mistakes all the game. So it was just those 2...
Those 2 bad. He plays the most important position.
Yeah.
On the field,
so
and he made 2 glaring mistakes.
Yeah.
But also, after each interception, next time they had the ball, Tua drove them down the field. They scored a touchdown.
Nice. So it shows that it doesn't faze him.
He's rebounding after mistakes, which is great to see.
Yeah,
it's great to see. And last year, they were in a playoff hunt. He didn't get a chance to rebound after mistakes. If he made a mistake, he got pulled for Ryan Fitzpatrick.
So it shows that...
Because Flores is we're trying to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
If you're not getting it done this game, I need a quarterback that's going to go out there.
Yeah, and it's a team sport, so it doesn't...
Yeah, it makes sense short term.
Yeah.
Long term doesn't make sense to pull your top 5 overall pick
as
consistently as he did, but whatever.
Yeah.
Is what it is. It happened. At the time, I was like, yeah, let's make the fucking playoffs. Let's do it. Fitz is going out there just fucking heaving it down the field with his eyes closed, and shit happens.
Yeah.
But Tua looked good. Mike Gesicki looked like Mike Gesicki is going to get paid so much fucking money this offseason.
How much money?
It's gonna be
so much.
So it'll be $15 million a year.
Holy.
And I hope it's from the Dolphins. He is so fucking good.
Holy shit! You can make a Shyamalan movie with that type of money.
You could.
Yeah.
That's all you need. But we'll see. They're 1-6 now. If I'm the I said it last week, I don't need to harp on it as much. Last week it was more of all right, the season is definitely over. let's get all it out. Like today, like I wasn't happy they lost, but I wasn't prepared to come in here on the podcast and just fucking go crazy on the Dolphins. It is what it is. Hopefully they trade some guys at the deadline.
Just use like the rest of the season to learn like what they should do.
Yeah, like if I'm like Preston Williams, this is his third year. He was targeted 4 times today. He's a wide receiver.
Oh wow.
He was targeted 4 times today. He dropped 3 of them.
Jesus.
Like I don't know when we decide that an undrafted free agent receiver who can't run routes well, drops the ball a lot, and is hurt a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when we decide that he's not a part of the long-term plans and we cut him loose.
Sheesh.
But like if I'm Stephen Ross, the owner, I tell Brian Flores, hey, like I don't want to see Albert Wilson this year. I want to see like Kirk Merritt out there, a young receiver, see what we have there. I want to see Trill Williams play. I want to see Noah Igbahogany play some more. Like that, as a fan, that's what I'm hoping. They have a lot of young players that kind of assess, see what you have there, and that's what I want to see the rest of the way.
Yeah.
You know, like Jason McCourty doesn't need to be out there, really.
Yeah.
Let's keep Brandon Jones out there and Trill Williams. Jesse Davis should not be starting. He's started every fucking game this year, and he should not start in the NFL.
It'd be so great if like one of the main coaches from the Finns was just like, David, you know, I've been listening to the podcast and I've really been taking in what you said, and we decided to go with what you said. So
it wouldn't be great, because then I'd be, if they said I've been listening, not I listened to that last episode. They said I've been listening, and like since week 2, I've been saying Jesse Davis should be starting in the NFL. They waited till now. I'd be furious. I'd be like, "Well,
you've been right all along."
Like, what were you guys seeing? What were you guys? You guys heard me from the beginning. What were you seeing?
Like we were wrong. We didn't want to listen, and now we had to bite the bullet.
Yeah. Well, there's Miami Heat. They came out and spanked the Milwaukee Bucks.
I heard
opening night. Looked very good. Tyler Hero looked out of his mind, and then last night they lost to the Pacers.
Oof.
And it kind of felt like, all right, Tyler Hero needs to not try to be the main guy out there, because he's not. Jimmy Butler, and I get like Kyle Lowry wasn't playing, but Tyler Hero, his stat line was like, I don't want to undersell the points. He might have had like 20 points, 8 rebounds, 0 assists. That's my issue with Tyler Hero. He plays kind of like, oh, I get the ball, all right, I'm gonna fucking do all this. He's like Russell Westbrook out there sometimes, and you're sharing the floor with Duncan Robinson, the best 3-point shooter in the league, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo. Let those motherfuckers.
Do they ever seem frustrated?
So, I mean, it's the second game.
So, yeah.
So, not at this point, but that's something I could see late in the season.
Yeah.
They're in the playoffs and, like, crunch time. Tyler Hero's holding the ball a little too much. I could see players being like, get rid of this. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You're good, a lot of potential, but you're the 3rd, 4th, sometimes 5th best player on the floor.
Yeah.
Pass the fucking ball.
Yeah.
You're at your best when you're a secondary option. So, we'll see. I think Eastern Conference, a lot of weird shit going on. Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving. Do you know what's going on there?
Yeah, a little bit.
You fucking love it, don't you?
I'm just like, yeah, this is all I know about basketball.
Yeah. Crazy that he's not playing. Ben Simmons.
But, good for him.
No, not good for him.
Do whatever you feel is necessary.
No.
Or whatever you want.
You're wrong.
Setting a standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to set a standard?
That's what
Get the vaccine and donate that $40 million that you're making this year to something.
Oh, come on.
Don't be like, no, man, it's my right to do that. Like, fuck you.
No,
Fuck
it is
you.
his
That
right.
That is so much money you're passing up.
Oh, we're going to get
That's
into it.
crazy. But looking at the Eastern Conference with the Nets, with Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons, and the Sixers, the Heat might be able to make a run out of it.
Yeah.
Which, if you would have asked me at the start of the offseason, I would be like, oh, they're the 4th or 5th best team in the East.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they could potentially win the East.
Fuck yeah.
So it's exciting. Go
Nice.
Heat.
Did you
Go Heat. Go Finns. Go Knowles.
Did you see Paulo Costa versus Vittori last night?
I saw that. I did not watch the fight. I saw that Costa missed weight.
Yeah.
and that Dan lost the fight, and that Dana
Pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, that was definitely the narrative. Everyone was kind of, like, upset about the fact. And then his excuse was the fact that he had, he tore his bicep or had a bicep injury
Pull
a
out
couple
the
weeks
fight.
out. Yeah, and then it's like, pull out the fight, you know.
Yeah.
You shouldn't try and get the your opponent to go up 20 fucking pounds within, like, 5 days.
Yeah.
Of you guys supposed to be fighting. Like, that's ridiculous. But
Yeah.
Vettori ended up winning. I mean, it was a good fight, too.
Yeah. And dude, I've been saying for a while, I would rather see Paulo Costa at light heavyweight.
Yeah. So he's going to stay. Even Dana White said that he's going to stay there now. And it's probably better for him, you know, all around. Like, for him to cut fucking 40 pounds to get to 185 is ridiculous.
Dude, like, I'm a fan of Paulo Costa.
Mm-hmm.
He was never going to beat Israel Adesanya or Robert Whittaker.
I don't think so either.
I think they're both. Izzy's too fucking quick for him. Robert Whittaker's too precise. Like, he's not landing. He needs a big shot on either of them.
Well,
he's not going to go out and just win a fight. He needs to knock one of them out, and he's not going to.
Well, it is his game plan, the way he fights, it just doesn't style up well against either of them because it's always just like this overwhelming pressure that, one, he wouldn't be able to keep up for 5 rounds against either of them. So his own game plan would go against him. And, yeah, just like you said, he's not going to have the stamina nor the precision to be able to strike with them. But at least that's what I think. I mean,
No.
he's still a great fighter. And he showed that.
Oh,
Dude, his
absolutely.
fucking body kicks, bro, are... Vettori was eating them. Honestly, it was super surprising the way Vettori was just taking shots from Costa. The way I was, like, watching it, dude, it was so loud, the slaps of his leg fucking against, whether it was just, like, his arm or
It
his
was
body.
at the Apex, right?
I'm not sure. I think so.
There's no crowd.
Yeah, I don't think so, because it was pretty...
Yeah, those are the best.
Yeah.
When there's like loud kicks and
Yeah.
it's just in fucking big empty building.
Yeah. And they were both big, man. They're both really, you know, fucking big, and they had a crazy amount of output for 5 rounds. So, yeah, it was a good fight. It was a fun fight. I do agree, honestly, with Costa that I thought it was a little much that he got a point taken away for an eye poke when it was apparently the first eye poke. I mean, it was the first eye poke. So there was like no warning. There was nothing like that. There might have been a time where he might have warned him to just keep his, but never like poked him to where they had to stop or anything like that.
How bad was the first eye poke, though?
Bad enough to where they had to like stop it. So since they like stopped it for a brief second, usually they would most times give a warning. But he told him, he was like, I'm giving him and then Costa started like almost I don't want to say mouthing off, but just like he was just disagreeing when he was like, no, and I was like,
In the cage?
Yeah, in the cage.
You can't do that.
No, exactly. And
Yeah.
the guy was like, the guy was super sweet. I forget the
Oh, not even like you just can't let it get in your head like that.
Oh, but yeah,
You have to be like, whatever, I'll win the rest of this round.
yeah, and yeah, he kept going, but it almost seemed like that at first because then it was like there's probably a bunch of mixed emotions when you're in the cage and you're the fighter, and then you feel like one, you accidentally hurt your opponent in a way that you didn't want to, so you almost kind of like feel bad, but then you get this point taken away, and that feels probably so degrading to like your like self-esteem about the fight and the way it's going, because that point is a lot, you know, like be taken away to where he feels like, man, fuck, now I gotta like finish the fight. You know, I got to probably knock him out, where it just probably like puts a beating on like your mentality of the fight. And it just, I don't know. It seemed like that for like a split second when they first restarted, but then they kept going at it. It was a good fight. I'm going to rewatch it again. But yeah, so if you guys haven't seen it, definitely go watch it.
Rewatch it again?
Yeah.
How good, like, 'cause I wasn't planning on watching this fight because it's kind of...
Well, the way I watched it was kind of like shitty fucking, how do I say, like...
How you say
how
cucumber?
Yeah. It was like zoomed in slightly. You couldn't see it as well.
Why's
as I'd
that?
like. You know, because like no, I saw it afterwards.
You were watching it legally on ESPN Plus, right?
No, it was actually afterwards. I didn't watch it live.
But it was on ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
Or UFC Fight Pass.
Yes, absolutely.
One of the two. One of the two legal ways to watch it.
The
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
What do you think? Like, I don't want to watch it just because like Costa should go to 205 and like Vettori should never get a title shot again as long as Israel Adesanya is the champion.
Yeah.
Like, there's no scenario where they're like, all right, we're doing Adesanya Vettori 3. And I'm like, oh, great, I can't wait to watch that.
I think Vettori needs probably 2 more wins for it to even be like a question.
Izzy beat the fuck out of him twice.
No, I feel you.
Like that's kind of like I don't think it should ever be a question. Just if I'm Israel, I'm like, well, no.
And I'm not even saying specifically against Izzy.
I'll fight the number 5 ranked guy. Like that's crazy. I've never fought that guy. Let's see. I'll fight Kelvin Gastelum coming off losses because that was my best fight in the UFC.
Well, I'm sure Izzy probably wants to move up to light heavyweight again. I hope he doesn't. But I think if he defends his belt, like beats Whitaker again, and then maybe even defends it again, like 2 more title defenses, it's like what else was there for him to do besides just do something different, like move up again or something?
Him at 205 wasn't fun.
I still thought it was a good fight. I rewatched it not too long ago, and I thought it was a pretty decent fight.
But he was soundly beaten by
no,
Jan.
yeah.
And that's kind of like,
but that's like,
I don't.
That's one thing though that he can work. Like the way he was beaten, I think he could work on that. And if he spent the time working on it, like really making sure he creates more distance and then not being taken down, like trying to work on his ground game and his like the clinch game a little bit more. Who the fuck am I? But like you know,
and it's not like Blachowicz is just staying stagnant.
Oh, he's amazing, but
like that.
Yeah.
But no, like, it's not like he's not. He's like I'm not. He's constantly working too. Like
yeah.
I don't see him bridging the gap against Blachowicz. I could be wrong.
I somewhat agree with you. I just say like what else is there if he defends his title 2 more times?
There's always young up and comers that we've never heard of.
True. Maybe at that time, yeah.
Like there's always another guy who you're like, oh, this guy's exciting.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, Islam. All of a sudden, Islam Makhachev is in the top 5 at light heavyweight.
I was just about to say, isn't he at 185?
No, he's at. You're thinking of fucking fuckface, the dude who Chimaev.
Yeah.
Khamzat Chimaev.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
But yeah, like there's always a young guy who rises up, and you're like Israel Adesanya, and you're like, oh shit, this guy's awesome.
Oh well, the dude that beat Izzy actually. So
he needs to fight that guy.
So he just came into the UFC, and so if anyone's listening who doesn't know, Izzy is like undefeated besides his 1 loss in the light heavyweight against Jan. But in his division, 185, he's undefeated as the champ. But he came from a kickboxing organization where he had like a fucking 100 wins under his belt or some shit. But like one of his only losses was to this one guy that knocked him out that is now signed to the UFC. So it's creating some hype and drama.
Do you know this guy's name?
No, I don't.
Well, we're gonna pause this. I'm gonna go pee and find the name.
Yep. Alex Pereira.
Derek for real.
Yep, that's his fucking name. So there's some hype. Look at that. Just turn this into a sports podcast for a second.
We should just put this on the 5-6 King Sports, which, Hoff might be dead, so that might no longer be a podcast. Who knows?
This might turn into a scary movie, David.
Haven't heard from Hoff in fucking over 2 weeks. Hoff, if you're listening, worried about you, big guy. Also, if you know Hoff and you're listening, send the guy a text. Be like, hey, man, you doing okay?
We heard, from the podcast.
We heard on the 5-6 Kings that you might be in trouble.
We're just making sure you're okay. Yeah.
Let's dive into this movie finally.
I was going to ask you, David, in light of it being Halloween and us going over a scary Halloween movie, if you had to be one thing for Halloween, what would it be?
What's this fucking Johnny Truelove?
Oh, dude.
Yeah. I don't know why I spaced on that name.
No, yeah, I could totally see that.
Johnny
Absolutely.
Truelove.
That would be great. Yeah. You want to know who I'd be?
Backwards. No. I think I want to just jump into the movie.
Because I'd be Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh. Right.
And I wouldn't give up one fucking moment, one goddamn Halloween night to not play my favorite character. But all right, let's hop into this movie. Just thought I would.
Don't ever ask me a question just to set up yourself.
Why?
To do an impression.
That's my character.
All right. This is give and take that we do. That's your character?
It was either that or
That's
Joel
your
Osteen.
Character? What does that mean?
We're here together to praise our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ on this spooky evening.
All right, so let's talk money.
If you could just donate to my church. All right, money? You want to go over money?
Let's talk money. I'm guessing the budget You got it up? You got it up?
Yeah, you goddamn bet your fucking ass I got it up.
$30 million. Budget.
Lower, David.
I don't know, 20.
Lower.
What was it?
14.
14 million?
Yeah.
Damn it. Box office, I'm guessing 196 million.
173.
Ooh,
That was
they
close.
happy with that, huh? They happy
better
with
be.
making over 10 times their investment?
Jesus. I hope, and it's like the investors are like, we can't risk doing another. We got to make it just a sequel. Let's just make a remake act. Fuck it. Remake it. We don't want to invest into another original idea with only 14 million and make 20 times our profit. We can't do that. We need to just make a remake.
Why would you not?
That's all there is today. It's just remakes.
You say that
remakes
like
and sequels.
Yeah, but like
No one's. All the investors. Are
why
scared.
would you not be
David.
like, oh holy shit, we struck gold with this movie. Let's make 2 sequels and a TV series.
Which is what they did.
Yeah.
And then
why would you not do that?
But they're still making remakes today.
Of course.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Of course, this movie came out almost 25 years ago, and they're still making money off of it. Of course you're going to do that. You're out of your
for
mind.
sure. But my point is like this was. I don't want to say an original idea. 'Cause it's
Nev
not, but-
Campbell is still getting blown because of her performance in this. People are still blowing Nev Campbell because of Scream.
And what's funny is
You can't tell me you wouldn't blow Nev Campbell.
You're goddamn right, David. I was like the whole movie. I was like, God, she is good looking,
Dude,
I don't want
The first time Nev Campbell came on the screen, I said, Braden's gonna have a little bit of a crush on her.
Dude,
So
yes.
that's how this movie's gonna go. I said, Braden.
You're the one that bringing it up, bro.
I was like, Braden's gonna have a little bit of crush on this girl.
So then I was like, dude, I don't know her age. This is a fucking long time ago. This was shot. Let me look up her age. Dude, she was shot. She was like 22, 23 when this film. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But apparently I was reading that Drew Barrymore was supposed to be the main actress the whole film, but she ended up being like, no, I want my character to die early. And she talked with the director and the writer, and they changed it to where she would die in the very beginning, which is kind of funny. She was like, I didn't want it to be like where you would think I'm just the main character. And I guess the director felt the same. So they're like, yeah, we'll just make it seem like she's the main character, and we'll have it so off-putting wherever we're.
Yeah. And it's wild. So guys, surprise, Drew Barrymore first scene gets murdered.
Yeah, a little bit of a spoiler.
But you're going to find out very shortly.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Wild, like star-wise, maybe
Exactly.
maybe other than Courtney Cox at the time.
She for sure, Drew Barrymore was for sure probably one of the most famous people.
Yeah, I think I don't know where they were at with Friends in '96.
Yeah.
Between her and Courtney Cox, I would think.
Yeah.
And immediately just murdering her. I'm sure people are like, "Oh, it's crazy."
Yeah, for sure.
Crazy. Drew Barrymore's dead.
Yeah, so I think she was supposed to be like the main actress. So good for what's her name again?
Nev Campbell.
Nev Campbell. Yeah.
Let's talk ratings, baby.
Dude, fucking the ratings were pretty good. So IMDb gave it a 7.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 79%. Metacritic gave it a 65%.
What about commonsensemedia.org?
I ain't got it. I'm sorry. Just failed you, David.
What Google say?
Google users gave it a 83%.
Nice.
Dude, I think I'm a little tied between, two numbers, but I'm going to give it a 5.4.
Did both of these numbers have decimals?
Yes.
And how far away? What was the other number?
5.7. It was between 5.4 and 5.7, and I was like, no.
What bridged the gap there? What bridged the gap?
What
was the difference?
I just thought about the whole movie, like the way I felt watching. I was like, no. I'm not giving it more. I'm giving it less. This shit pissed me off. Just pissed me off, and I'm like, just give it less.
Yeah. I'm giving it a 6.
Okay.
It was entertaining.
Yeah.
It was fun watching it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, by no means are you like, oh, that was a great fucking movie I just watched.
Yeah.
It's silly. It's fucking over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Say it's a D. It's not a great movie, but like, I didn't. So I've seen it before, not in a long time, but I've seen it before, and like I wasn't disappointed rewatching it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it was fine.
Yeah.
I knew what I was getting into. I was entertained still.
Yeah. I always just have a problem watching these type of movies. A lot of like horror, scary movies usually just piss me the fuck off, and that's just
It's the point. That's this movie kind of.
Well, the point is to scare you, but
Yeah,
usually
but
they just
this movie really like dug into that, and like every scene they explain how ridiculous horror movies are.
they did.
Yeah, that's what this whole movie
But
is.
they still had ridiculous shit. Like I wish,
Yeah,
in some instances, I enjoyed what they did. In other instances, I'm like, bro, this is just as bad as exactly what they're mocking when they're saying the shit. When they're saying those lines about scary movies,
which I think was kind of the point. Like they would joke and say how scary movies do this, and then do exactly what they said. Like I can't imagine that was an oversight by them. Like I have to imagine that was the plan.
Yeah, I know, I feel you, but it was just So there was times where it put me more into it, and the times where it took me more out of it. It's kind of like the way I felt when I was watching it, and then that would just kind of just like irritate me because I'm like when they would do some things that it's just like I would find ridiculous. It would just take me out the movie. It'd be like I wouldn't be scared in that moment the way I should be, and now I'm just like, oh, dude, this is ridiculous. Like that's what I'm feeling and thinking, and I'm just like, I'm not scared in this moment that I should be. That they are trying to make me scared. Now I'm just pissed off because I'm like, this is ridiculous. This isn't how it would happen. But that's like every horror film that I feel like I watch, which I think a lot of people would agree.
I disagree. Let's talk awards.
Oh, David. You just get me fucking going. All right, so it's got 11 wins and 11 nominations.
Tell me they're batting 1,000 here on Scream? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Well, no. It's they're not
22 nominations,
but 11 of them they won.
Okay. Batting 500 on Scream?
Yeah, so that's how they always kind of put it on IMDb. They don't ever count the wins as part of like nominations, if that makes sense. But yeah, so they won Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films for Best Horror Film, Best Actress, Neve Campbell, Best Writer. That one.
Neve Campbell.
Yeah, Neve Campbell. Fuck me.
It might be Neve, but I've called it Neve. I've called her Neve my whole life, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. Is that understood?
It'd be great if she hit you up. She's like, it's fucking Neve, you motherfucker.
That would be great.
I'd be like, so extreme.
Big star.
Yeah. They won the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards for Best Wide Release Film, Best Actress, Neve Campbell, Best Supporting Actress.
No.
Neve?
Yeah. I think there was a chance I'm not going to correct you there?
Best Supporting Actress, Drew Barrymore. Best Screenplay, Kevin Williamson. And
It's the Chainsaw Awards?
yeah, the Fangoria Chainsaw.
Right. Whatever then.
Dude, here's a film.
Because Drew Barrymore winning kind of annoyed me, but whatever. That's it's a crazy award show.
Here's the Gerardimer Film Festival winner, Wes Craven. Good for him.
Is that director?
Yeah, they didn't say. They just said grand prize.
I think
This is the grand prize winner.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
International Horror Guild winner, Best Movie. MTV Movie and TV Awards winner, Best Movie. And that's it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Round of applause for Scream.
Woo!
Braden, you and I looked into something before we started recording, and then rather than talk about that, you got me talking about the Dolphins for a while, and we talked about some fucking throwaway UFC card where the main event, the guy didn't make weight.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but our YouTube, like the fucking audio for Rambo 2008 has 2,800 views, which is 2,700 views more than usual. I don't know how that happened. I don't know why Rambo got so many views. I think we need to do all Stallone.
Yeah.
I think we're doing Rocky and Over the Top and fucking Creed and whatever else Stallone's up to. Oh, he did he didn't do Predator. That's Schwarzenegger.
He did Prison Break. You know Prison Break, the one with him and Schwarzenegger way back in the day. It was like fucking 10 years. It was great, dude.
It was 10 years ago?
I don't know, but it was called Prison Break.
Was it 10 years ago, or was it way back in the day, like an old, like...
No, probably like 10 years ago. They're
Okay.
kind of old, probably.
No, I don't remember.
I don't know why I'm talking like this, but yeah.
Because you thought it was funny to talk like that and realized it wasn't landing.
David, everything I does. God damn
Everything
it.
I do lands. Yeah, guys, I don't know what we did on Rambo, but if you can tell us what was so great, if you're listening, tell us what we did so great on Rambo.
Well, it's like I was saying, they just think it was the movie, and then they press play.
I hope
and
so.
And then what up?
But it had way more hours of listening
True.
than the usual.
Because they got sucked in after that what up?
That what up gets everybody.
Yeah.
Gets them every single time.
They say, well, this isn't
They're like,
Rambo.
"Huh? Well, Rambo does not talk like that." Also, there's someone commenting on our stuff as 5'6" Kings fan boy 69. And I gotta be honest, I don't want to know who you are. I just want you to keep it up.
And I appreciate it. Thanks for sticking up for me. I know David could be very harsh.
I mean, it's well deserved. Oh, the Macho Man Randy Savage, you fucking psycho over there.
Strong woman.
That was a whole setup just to do your Macho Man voice. It's crazy.
It wasn't.
And then you said that's my character.
To tell you the truth, I was honestly on the fence of who am I going to play this year. Am I going to be Macho Man Randy Savage or am I going to be Joel Osteen? Because I love nurturing people with the way that
guys,
I talk.
we're not going to get off topic here. 5'6" Kings fanboy, you make me want to now check our YouTube more. So keep it up.
Yeah,
Keep it up.
now we're going to be on YouTube more than ever.
More than ever.
Yeah,
We're YouTube guys now.
yeah, big YouTube people.
All right, let's jump into this fucking movie.
Yeah,
where are we at on time? How long is the podcast?
42 minutes.
42 minutes, plus we have to go in and add Suave. So, guys, I'm sorry. I have so much shit written down.
guys, I'll try to keep it fast because I fucking hate this movie, and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, but it doesn't matter. Fuck them.
So, yeah, I want you to know, every time Braden does that, I'm adding another 30 seconds to this by just rambling about nonsense like I'm doing right now. So anytime Braden says fuck him, just know he made the podcast longer.
All right, David.
Movie starts, we see Drew Barrymore. Her phone rings, she answers it. It's a weird voice. I'm not going to do the voice.
Hey.
Yeah, I think Braden, this is a voice I think Braden will do better than me. I'm going to let Braden do the voice. But
He's like, what you doing?
yeah, it's a wrong number. The first time it's like clearly a wrong number.
Oh,
And she's
yeah.
like, yeah, it happens. Hangs up. And then he calls again. And he's like, I just wanted to apologize. And maybe we could talk for a second. And she's like, they got 800 numbers for that. Which
Yeah.
is like a phone sex thing. It's what she was saying. And she hangs up again. And we see an outside view of the swing in her front yard. And it's going back and forth. And she's making some Jiffy Pop. And her phone rings again. She answers it. And the guy goes, why don't you want to talk to me? He goes, tell me your name and I'll tell you mine. And they do that back and forth. He's like, what's your favorite scary movie? And she goes, Halloween. Oh no, he's making popcorn.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's like, what? He's like, what's that noise? She's like, I'm making popcorn. He's like, I only have popcorn at the movie theater. He's like, what are you making popcorn for? She's like, I'm gonna watch a scary movie. He goes, what's your favorite scary movie? And she says, Halloween. And he's like, you got a boyfriend? And she goes, no. And then he's like, what's your name? I want to know your name. And she goes, why do you want to know my name so bad? And he's like, I want to know who I'm looking at. And she's like, what'd you just say? And he goes, I want to know who I'm talking to.
She goes, no, what did you just say?
And he's like, no, that's what I'm sticking by. And then she's like, I'm hanging up. She's like, no, don't hang up. And she hangs up. And then he calls again. And he's like, I told you not to fucking hang up on me. If you hang up again, I'll gut you like a fish, Blondie.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, I'm going to call the police. And he's like, they'd never make it in time. His house is in the fucking middle of nowhere. He's like, police ain't getting here. And then the doorbell rings a whole bunch. And she's like, my boyfriend's going to get here. And he's going to kick your ass. He's like, you said you didn't have a boyfriend. And she goes, no, I have a boyfriend. He's big and he plays football. And he goes, your boyfriend wouldn't happen to be Steve, is it? And she's like, oh.
She's like, don't touch him.
Uh-oh. She's like, how do you know that? And how do you know his name's Steve? And he's like, I'm going to ask you a question. If you get it right, Steve lives. Who's the killer in Halloween? And she goes, Michael Myers. And he's like, oh, good. Oh, because we're all over the place. She turned on the light. And Steve's all tied up. Doesn't look like Steve, he's wearing a Letterman jacket. But he's not big.
Yeah.
He looks like a defensive back or...
He was getting mopped in the games.
Yeah, so he could be good.
Yeah, he could be good. I'm just kidding.
But he's not like...
Well,
he's big and he plays
good
football,
enough.
makes me think he's like a defensive end. We're going to see a big motherfucker. Steve was not that. He's tied up to a chair and he's got blood on his face and he looks like he got the shit beaten out of him.
Yeah.
And then and then the killer, so she gets the first one right, and then he goes, who's the killer in the Friday the 13th movies? And she's like, Jason! It's Jason! And he's like, nope. She's like, yes, it is. I've seen that movie 20 times. He's like, then you would know that Jason's mom is the killer and that Jason didn't start killing until the second one. And she's like, oh, I forgot about that. Which I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then he goes, Steve gets fucking murked, by the way. Steve's dead, but whatever.
Fucking
Who was
guts
emotionally attached to Steve?
No one.
Steve meant nothing to us.
But the way he dies is he literally gets gutted, like his fucking organs are.
Oh god, they all fall out the front.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then, did I say this is Drew Barrymore? By the way, I feel like we're all over the place. This is Drew Barrymore. By the way,
Yeah.
she's
No,
the
you
chick
said-
on the phone.
you said, yeah.
Okay, Steve's nobody, but Drew Barrymore's on the phone.
Yeah, Drew Barrymore.
Steve gets fucking murked, and then the killer's on the phone. And he's like, "Final question."
Oh, and dude, this part killed me because it's like she screamed, but she's immediately on the phone. She's back like, okay, what's the next question? It's like, bro, what? You'd be fucking losing your mind. But that's not her. It's not Drew. It's just
she didn't care that much about Steve. I get it. She's like, "What? That meant nothing to me."
yeah.
That just means I don't have someone to help me fight these guys. That's all Steve was to me.
And
He was a body.
That's exactly what was portrayed. Yeah.
He was a fucking body.
Yep.
And now he's a dead body.
Hey, you know.
The final question is, which door am I at? And then a fucking chair gets thrown through the back door. It's a glass door. That's how she's watching. Chair gets thrown through it. And he's like, oh, it's the back door. She runs and hides, and Jiffy Pop is on fire. The house is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, so like the smoke alarm is kind of like going off from like the popcorn's like almost on fire or some shit. I think
Popcorn is on fire.
Is
at
on
this
fire.
point.
Okay, yeah,
It's on fire. She then grabs a knife and she ran and hid. And she grabs a knife and quietly goes out the back door and then closes the door kind of loudly. And she makes a face. She's like, "Oh fuck! I closed that shit too loud. He's gonna hear it."
But she was fucking lucky because she's sitting in that corner and she's looking inside and. Yeah, that motherfucker's lost. That motherfucker was looking all over the house and could
He's
not.
always fucking
He's like, where the
panicking.
fuck did she go? What the fuck?
Running all over the place. Then she sees a car coming and kind of half-heartedly tries to get to it. She slowly, she goes under the window, and then the killer smashes through the window and grabs her, and she fights the killer off and then runs and sees the car pulling in the driveway and then comes to a dead stop.
Just one of the very
Comes to a
many
dead stop and
things that-
watches the car coming up the driveway.
Yeah, because that's what a normal person would do.
That's what you do. You stop. The killer dives through a window.
Yeah, because he's an athlete.
Tackles her. This guy's out of his fucking mind is what he is.
Yeah.
Dives through, tackles her. She, fights him off and gets away, and then he reaches around. It goes in slow-mo, and he stabs her in the chest. But she still kind of fights him off and keeps going.
Yeah, because, it's Drew Barrymore. She's got, ET powers and shit. So she is, crawling towards, the front door. The parents come home, and they walk inside the house.
before this, though. They're coming up. They're on the front porch. She is 10 feet away from them.
Yeah, but she couldn't say anything.
She couldn't yell because she was stabbed, I guess.
So she was like...
How little awareness do those fucking parents have to have?
Dude, all you gotta do is look to the left.
To look, and also, I imagine a window, someone diving through a window. It wasn't an open window.
Oh, yeah.
If they smashed it. If you're pulling up in a car, you hear that.
Yeah.
Unless they're fucking banging out to some
and
music.
if you notice that the door's open, you become hyper aware. You are now scared, not just that your house has been broken into.
Front door was closed.
No, the front door was open.
It was closed.
No, because they react to it, I thought.
No.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Front door was closed, and they open it and go in.
You're right.
And then they notice there's a chair thrown through their back door, and
Yeah.
Jiffy Pop's on fire.
Yeah, but still, if you heard that, though, like you're saying...
You would hear the window you would hear a human being.
And the moment you open the door,
crash
like
through
the
your
way
window.
that the mom reacted, your hyper-awareness would just kick in. And then you would be looking all over the fucking place. You know what I'm saying?
Then the killer grabs Drew Barrymore, and he holds the knife up, and she reaches and pulls the mask off his face.
But we don't see it.
What are you doing, man?
What?
I was gonna lie. I was gonna be like, and we see that it's Tom Cruise. Yeah, that was gonna be a joke. I was gonna be like, because what are the odds? Like, no,
I'm so sorry.
We don't see the killer's face. We don't see the killer's face, and then we hear another stab. The parents are seeing all this nonsense, and they pick up the phone, and Drew Barrymore's still holding the landline. This movie was made in 96. So she's holding the other end, and they can hear her, like, grunting and stuff as she's getting dragged through the yard. And then the service goes out. Dad tells Mom to go to the Mackenzie's house. He's like, take the car, go to the Mackenzie's house. When Mom goes out front, she sees Drew Barrymore's gutted as fuck body just hanging from a tree in the front yard.
And then I thought, too, dude, there's no way. I don't care how athletic, strong.
No way he could have done it that quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
and,
fucking way.
Hung her.
Yeah, no goddamn way.
Like, it's so ridiculous. It was like 5 seconds.
Because we're watching the parents in, like, real time.
Yeah,
like, they're reacting to all this, the phone, and he's like, all right, let's like, they go from the phone when she was being dragged straight to the front door.
And I don't think we touched enough on this. The moment when she's saying mom, and she can't say it, there was a point before when they first walked up to the door, and she was on the fucking porch with them, basically. Like, she's at the edge of the porch. Like,
That is what I'm saying when she was saying mom but couldn't yell.
Oh, I thought you were talking about on the phone.
No, they were at the. She was 10 feet away from them.
So then let's
not
just
able
for
to
a
yell.
second. Like, I'm talking about fucking less than 10 feet away. Less than 10 feet away, your daughter is fucking
10 feet. We're sticking with 10 feet.
Okay,
all
10
right?
feet.
Just because you didn't listen to me when I talked about this earlier, and now you want to harp on it, don't make it more ridiculous than it was.
No, but it is
10 feet.
But
10
But
feet.
it is fucking ridiculous. That's what
10
I'm saying.
feet.
And she's
Say 10 feet.
10 feet. And she's there. A fucking dude is there with he's like fucking 6 feet tall. You're gonna notice, bro, at the corner of your eye, something's going on.
He also doesn't like he stands tall behind her.
Yeah.
While they're going in, like he's in plain view. Like he doesn't try to hide.
Yeah.
He's just right there.
Yeah.
With a fucking knife.
It's a
Behind
little
their
much.
daughter who's covered in blood.
Yeah. And then he's nowhere to be found, too, once when they come out and see that she's gutted. I mean, this motherfucker is quick.
I mean, you gotta be quick. Gotta be quick on your feet around here.
Yeah,
you know?
right?
All right. Now Nev Campbell is typing away at her computer and
Just looking beautiful.
hears a noise and checks it out, and her boyfriend pops in the window. And she tells her boyfriend that her dad's in the next room, and he's like, I just want to be quick. I've never snuck in through your window before. And she's like, my dad's in the next room. He's going to kill you. And then dad knocks on the door and then opens it. And she's got this cool thing. She's got a closet door that opens into the bedroom door. So it kind of like jams it and doesn't let you open the bedroom door all the way.
I'd have that shit set up like that all
Dude.
the time if I was...
All the time.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? All the time. Dad's like, I heard some screaming, because she screamed when the boyfriend jumped through the fucking window, as you would.
Yeah.
As one does.
Yeah, because she's on, like, the second floor, right?
I don't know that we ever see.
It seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that could,
Oh, she has to be. 'Cause
right?
we never see the view from her room. The house is fucking humongous.
Yeah, she's on the second
I
floor.
can't imagine she wasn't on the second floor.
Which makes it that much more fucking scary if someone's coming through your window.
Yeah. Dad comes in and he's like, I heard something. She's like, no, you didn't. He opens the door. Nobody's there. He's like, all right, my flight leaves early in the morning. I'm staying at.
David's pointing at me like I'm gonna.
It's
Casa Bonita?
no, but it's another thing from that show. All you do is quote South Park on this fucking podcast. It's the Airport Hilton.
Oh, the airport.
Hey,
Hilton.
guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for choosing the Airport Hilton.
Yeah.
He's staying at the Airport Hilton.
The best place is to, run out of room for some type of event.
For your ginger, your AIDS rally, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Closed the door, and the boyfriend was behind the bed. And he was like, I was watching The Exorcist on TV. This guy's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
He's like, I was watching The Exorcist on TV, and all the good stuff was cut out, and it made me think about you. You know, we started hot and heavy 2 years ago. Nice solid R rating on our way to an NC-17, but lately, we're just edited for TV. And she's like, what do you think, you break in my window, I'm just going to jump in bed with you? He's like, nah, I wouldn't dream of breaking your underwear rule. But I was thinking we could do some stuff on top of the clothes. And she's like, all right. And they start making out. And he immediately does not respect that rule. Just reaches under her dress. And she's like, all right, that's enough. And he's like, you see what you do to me? And he's like, all right, I'm going to go. She's like, I appreciate the romantic gesture. And he says, hey, I was only half serious about all the sex stuff. I'm not trying to rush you. And then she's like, would you settle for a PG-13 relationship? And he's like, what does that mean? And then with the camera behind her, so we as the viewers don't see anything, she flashes him and then covers up. And he goes, you're such a tease. And then he leaves.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
That's how we should feel. You saw the titties. You should be like, those nice titties. All right, I'm back in. We're at the school. There's police and news trucks all over the place. Courtney Cox is one of the news reporter, and they're all talking about Drew Barrymore getting killed. Nev Campbell's friend walks up to her and is like, did you hear what happened? Drew Barrymore and that fucking nobody she was with got fucking butchered last night. And she tells Nev, she's like, they're saying this is the worst crime in years. Even worse than... And then pauses and goes, well, it's bad. And then they keep walking. So, like, as the viewer, you're like, that's fucking weird. What else happened?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Nev Campbell, they're in the classroom, and everyone's just looking at the empty desk, which I liked.
Yeah.
Like, they left the dead person's desk there, and it's not like she wasn't in the front or back of the classroom. It's right in the middle. Everyone's just staring at the empty desk. And then the teacher...
Building the eeriness.
Yeah. It's fucking... Get rid of the desk. Get rid of the desk and push everyone up a spot.
Yeah, it's
what you gotta do.
Making it, super weird and...
Yeah. Or fucking put a memorial on it or something. Be like, guys, let's put some flowers on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Do something, but don't just leave an empty desk.
That's on the teacher. Those teachers fucking suck.
Absolutely. Except for that principal. We'll get to him in a minute.
We will.
We will get to him. So the teacher's like, hey, it's your turn. And then she leaves, and we cut to the principal's office. The principal...
Yep.
It's the Fonz! It's Fonzie! Motherfucking Fonzie! Like, what? They got the actor who plays Fonzie.
Yeah.
One of the police officers, deputies, sorry. There's the sheriff who's a fucking, I don't know him from anything else.
Yeah.
But the sheriff's deputy is former WCW World Heavyweight Champion. The same title Sting had. Same title Goldberg had. Same title Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash. The list goes on. Same title all of these legends had. This guy's a former champion. It's David Arquette.
Yep.
Former WCW World Champion David Arquette's one of the guys. Before Nev Campbell is in the room, the principal is he says her name. I forget. That's Sydney Prescott, maybe.
Yeah.
And he's like, the daughter of, and then like stops, like it's we don't talk about. She's the daughter of, you know, and then she walks in, and the sheriff weirdly says hi to her. He's like, "Hey, Sydney." I don't know if the actor just fucked up the line or if they were like make it seem like you want to fuck her. But that's this whole scene. The principal does some weird stuff coming up. David Arquette, she says, "Hey, Dewey." That's his character's name. And he goes, it's Deputy Riley today, Sydney.
I
Which
think
is
what
crazy.
Yeah, I think what they were trying to do was make it seem like they built a relationship over what we end up finding out what happens. And I think the director was like, yeah, show it as if you know her. Like you guys know each other. You guys have been around each other for quite some time, where you built a little bit of a relationship.
This is the sheriff you're talking about.
Yeah, like the director's talking to the sheriff, and the sheriff's like, "Oh, I got this." And this probably just makes.
What do you think the reason for the Fonz then saying, "All right, we're going to make this as brief as possible," and then like caresses her face and kind of like grabs her chin, like thumb on the chin, index finger underneath it, and kind of goes off it like. Very weird, like fucking built-up sexual tension between her and the principal. And guys, I'll burst the bubble right now. The Fonz does not fuck Nev Campbell in this movie.
No, yeah, and
it's a shame.
And the Fonz, they make it seem as he's honestly, besides that one point, like a great guy. Like
well, so the next thing, there's a big loudspeaker where it's him saying, "Remember, your principal loves you." And over the loudspeaker for the whole school, not just for Nev Campbell.
Yeah.
Remember, your principal loves you and wants you to be safe. I encourage all of you to go straight home from school, walks in groups of 2 or 3, and don't talk to strangers.
So, I think once again it was like it was the same premise. Is that the director's like trying to tell him that you and Nev Campbell have. Like a relationship that was, and also that he probably feels bad where he's like, I don't want to spoil it, trying to be kind of like a fatherly figure, if that makes sense. But yeah, I could totally see how that seems weird, and it does seem weird. I just think like the director was like, "Hey, do this. This will make you seem." David is like caressing his fucking chin.
I keep doing the stuff that Fonz is doing to Nev Campbell to myself,
which is weird. Yeah, it's weird. But I just think that they were trying to say like, "Hey." Try to make it seem as if you really know her and you're like a kind of like in a way like a fatherly parent figure to her, which obviously didn't come off as such.
I had one principal from kindergarten through 8th grade
who
never touched Mr. Hooverez never touched my face. But you know, had Mr. Hooverez touched my face in some way, I'd be like, whatever. He is a great man. He's earned whatever.
No, he is.
Whatever his reason for touching my face, I'm probably gonna get something out of this. Like I'm like not like I'm gonna get like physically attain something. I'm gonna get some knowledge out of this touch. I'm gonna let Mr. Hooverez do it.
He told me, Chris, and Eli, listen, you guys just can't come back. We're not gonna kick you out. You just can't come back. And honestly, did not lose any respect for him.
Like, that's great. That's a great way to do it. It's like, not gonna have an expulsion on your record, but
you can't
don't come back to the fucking school next year, all right? Like, just go do some other shit.
Literally, dude.
So now there's a group of kids sitting by the fountain. It's Nev Campbell and her boyfriend, her friend from earlier, and her boyfriend, who is Billy Brubaker, the catcher from Summer Catch.
Wow.
Yeah, the big Brew's back.
Wow.
No more Dee Mulligan for this guy. He's getting this girl.
Yeah.
And Jamie Kennedy, who's their friend too. What a staff.
Yeah.
What a staff.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I guess staff.
They are staff.
Yeah. You know, what a staff. They're all talking about what the police said to them. The guys were all asked if they like to hunt. And the girls are like, why would they ask you? They didn't ask us that. Why would they ask you that? And Jamie Kennedy's like, because they were fucking gutted. See if we like to gut animals. And then Brew is like, it could never be a woman. That's why they only ask the guys, because it takes a guy to be able to gut someone like that. A chick could never do it. Nev Campbell is all scared, and she's like, how could you gut someone? Everyone's quiet for a second, and then Brew, I'm going to call him Brew.
Yeah.
I think his name's Stu in this movie. But Brew.
Is it
Brew is like you cut from the groin all the way to the top. Like, he explains how to gut. And then...
Wait, are you talking about Shaggy?
Billy Brubaker.
Oh, okay. So Skeet.
No. Billy Brubaker was his
okay.
character's name in Summer Catch.
Oh, you see.
Braden's acting as though I did not tell him that I was going to refer to that character as Billy Brubaker because I referred to him as Shaggy for all of Summer Catch.
Yeah.
Braden is the only person listening to me talk right now, unless you've seen Summer Catch a couple times and know the characters, who should not be confused about what I'm doing.
The reason why I got confused,
lo and behold, here he is. Yeah, but I told you I was going to call that guy Nev Campbell's boyfriend.
I know, it was the Billy.
I told you that guy doesn't have a fucking name to me. He's Nev Campbell's boyfriend. Billy Brubaker.
We're calling him Skeet.
And Nev, I'm calling him Nev Campbell's boyfriend.
Skeet.
Yeah. Also, you said you would only do Skeet when it was appropriate. This is not an appropriate time.
You're right. Which makes it that much more inappropriate. Or appropriate.
So Nev's boyfriend tells him to stop explaining how to gut someone. And Nev Campbell's like, hey, didn't you date Drew Barrymore, Billy Brubaker? And Jamie Kennedy is like, yeah, do the police know that you dated the victim for a while? He's like, it's very interesting. And he's like, oh, you think I fucking did it? He's like, I don't know. They were like, where were you last night? Oh, no.
Well,
His girlfriend's like, he was with me last night.
Yeah.
He couldn't have done it. He's like, yeah, I was.
Yeah, and I think he said one other thing about referencing how he's like, I got a girlfriend. Like, what the fuck? Like, kind of like how that doesn't faze me. Kind of like, I'm with her. Why would?
What do you mean?
Because
he didn't kill Drew Barrymore because he was mad.
Yeah, because he's with this, like,
yeah.
He's not just like a pissed off ex. Like, he's moved on.
I mean, he could be.
No.
Fucking
100%.
skank he's with now.
I'm just saying what he made a comment kind of referencing towards that.
Jamie Kennedy says he was at work, and she's like, didn't you get fired? He's like, yeah, twice, actually. And then winks at her, which I don't know what that meant, but he does work at the movie, the fucking Blockbuster.
Oh, because if you get fired from Blockbuster, you might just get rehired.
Twice.
Yeah.
Get fired twice and rehired.
Yeah.
And then Brew goes, nah, I didn't kill anybody. And Billy says, no one said you did. And he's like, oh, thanks, bud. And then Jamie Kennedy's like, yeah, because it would take a man to do all that. And then they kind of like go back and forth and make some jokes about the body parts being in the mailbox. And Nev Campbell she's upset this whole time. None of this conversation is fun for her.
Yeah.
And then she leaves. And Billy Brubaker goes, she's upset. Leave her alone. And then he goes, leave her alone. Like he's pumped that he thought of that one.
Yeah. And the whole time I'm like, dude, if I'm this girl, I'm like, bro, I'm never coming around these people again. Like, what kind of inconsiderate pieces of shit, even my fucking boyfriend to say and say, act like this when my mother just got fucking murdered.
It was a year ago. Get over it.
Yeah, which is
Braden, I am shocked by your stance on this, by the way. Because there's other times where I'm like, oh, the boyfriend's a piece of shit here. And I was fully expecting you to be on the other side of that argument. So I'm excited when we get there to see what your reaction is. Because I was fully expecting you not to take Nev Campbell's side for a lot of this. So I'm excited to see how this is going to play out.
Because I got trust issues?
Yeah, well, just not even trust issues. You typically are like, no, she's fucking like kind of overreacted. Like, it's been a full year. Like, that's what I was expecting you to be like.
I would have been pissed off too. I'd be like, bro, what the fuck?
Bro, fucking let me, like, we were almost NC-17.
I could have PTSD and you guys are literally joking about my fucking trauma.
Yeah, but fuck her. All right? One of us has to be on that side of the fence. Nev Campbell's getting home. She's all alone. The house is fucking massive.
Yeah.
Looks awesome.
All the houses are pretty dope.
What's she so upset about? She's got that cool house. She's got all this money. Got lots of friends. What's she got to be angry about? Go fuck your boyfriend. She calls her friend, Billy Brubaker's girlfriend, and she's like, midway through the call, she's like, you sure you don't mind if I come stay? My dad's not back till Sunday. If I come stay with you till then. She's like, yeah, it's fine. She's like, yeah, I'm just having, it's kind of like Deja Vu. Great movie starring Denzel Washington, by the way. Yeah. Deja Vu. Mm-hmm. You seen it?
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, it is.
Add it to the list. At some point, we're doing Deja Vu.
About it.
She's like, with all the reporters and the police, it's like deja vu all over again. She's like, yeah, no, you can definitely stay with us. I'll pick you up after practice at 7. Never find out what her practice is, but it's after practice at 7 when she's picking her up.
Which I want to know now.
Nev Campbell, soccer? What do we... Nev Campbell is then watching TV. Every channel's talking about the double murder. Then she gets to one where Courtney Cox is on. And Courtney Cox not only talks about the double murder, but talks about how a year ago Ray Donovan raped and killed Nev Campbell's mom.
Whoa.
And is awaiting to see if he's going to get the death penalty.
So now we truly
find out,
understand
her
how
mom,
inconsiderate a lot of these motherfuckers are.
Her mom was raped and gutted and, just
why
brutally
people are
murdered a year
acting
ago.
a certain way towards her.
I wonder if that's if this is the first thing that the actor who plays Ray Donovan was ever in. Liv Shriver. I wonder if this is his first on-screen appearance.
I doubt it. You don't just go from nothing to this.
Nothing to just being a prisoner, getting put in the back of a car. Like, it's not like he was...
But still.
It's not like he was Nev Campbell.
True, yeah.
He had a nothing throwaway role in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, unless you just know the yeah. Then yeah, that makes sense.
Could have been banging Courtney Cox.
That's what I'm saying.
I want you to be my guy.
Yeah.
Nev Campbell looks at the clock, and it's. I want you guys to know it's 6:45 on the clock, and it looks like the middle of the day. It is very, very, very bright out. Looks like middle afternoon, but it's 6:45. She looks at the clock and then looks at a picture of her and her mom, lays on the couch, apparently falls asleep because the phone rings and it wakes her up, and it's 7:15. And it is pitch black out.
Yeah, because
like that half hour, it went from like sun at the fucking top of the sky to dark, middle of the night. I don't buy it, Braden. I don't buy it for 1 second. She answers, and it's her friend who is like, "Hey, sorry, practice ran late, and I'm on the way." Nev Campbell's not cool about it. In kind of a bitchy voice, she goes, "It's past 7." I'd be like,
it's like 15.
I'd be
like, woke up.
I'd be like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm on the way. Like, the friend had a great response. She's like, yeah, don't worry, Drew Barrymore wasn't killed until after 10. Like, that's her joking response, and she kind of laughs.
Because you get a little cranky when you get those.
Yeah, that's
30-minute naps.
That's a crazy, like, your friend is picking you up, letting you stay at the house for the weekend. Yeah, I know you've been through a lot. But your response to, hey, I'm sorry, practice ran late, I'm on the way, is to tell her that she's late?
And what's crazy
is... Hey, sorry, I'm running late. Essentially, this was the conversation. Hey, sorry, I'm running late, but I'm on the way. And then Nev Campbell said, you're late. That is essentially what that conversation was. Yeah. That's fucking crazy. If you ever did that to me, I would be like... Well, now I'm not picking you up. Yeah. Good luck tonight, bud.
But it's crazy because she puts her foot down about that more than
anything else.
Yeah, like everything else. And it's like, bro, come on.
Her friend said she wants to stop and get some Tom Cruise movie because if you pause it at the right time, you can see his penis.
And now I'm like, what is she talking about?
Yeah.
Where's that Tom Cruise penis?
I want to pause it, yeah.
Come on.
I want to see.
There's no way the writers put that in there and that's just fucking false.
No. You said... Anything they say or show you in a movie has a purpose behind it.
It fucking does, David. And there's a fucking frame.
He is hanging dong somewhere. We're going to find it.
Some split frame in a movie. We got Tom Cruise dong. And we need to find it.
We'll find it.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll find it.
Yeah.
We'll find it. 5'6" Kings fanboy 69. You find it. How about that, man? You go find it. And send it in. The phone rings again.
It'd be great if it was Tom Cruise.
The phone rings again, and she answers, says, just get in the car already. And it's not her, it's the killer's voice. And he's like, it's a scary night. It's like a scary movie or something. And she laughs and thinks it's Jamie Kennedy. And he's like, what's your favorite scary movie? And she's like, I don't watch that shit. And then kind of shits on the genre. She's like some big-titted bimbo bitch. Gets all scared and then, and then runs upstairs to hide when she should be going out the front door. And then he's like, what the fuck? What did he say? He says, he asks, "Are you alone in the house?" And then she goes, "Oh, that's so unoriginal, Jamie Kennedy. You're disappointing me." And he goes, "Maybe that's because I'm not Jamie Kennedy." And she's like,
Oh, shit.
who are you?" He goes, "The question isn't who am I,
But
it's
where am I? Sorry, I had to steal that from you, David.
I mean, you can steal them all, but like, give me a heads up. And be like, I'm jumping in, man. I'm jumping in. It's me. And he's like, "I'm on your front porch." And she's like, "You're bluffing." And then she goes out on the front porch, looks around, doesn't see him. And she's like, "Can you see me right now?" And he's like, "Uh-huh." And she's like, "What am I doing?" And she starts picking her nose. She's like, "What am I doing?
Oh, my God.
What am I doing?" And the fucking person doesn't say anything. She's like, "Yeah, that's what I thought. You don't know shit, bitch. You little pussy ass bitch. You don't know what the fuck you deal with."
Yeah, you ain't gonna show up here, pussy.
Then she walks inside, closes the door, and goes, "All right, well, bye." And then goes to hang up. And then he goes, "If you hang up on me, you'll die just like your mother. Do you want to die, Nev Campbell? Your mother sure didn't." And
her eyes get like really big, and we get an extreme close up.
So she hangs up, closes. Oh, she didn't close the door. She hangs up and then closes the door, and then the killer pops out of a hallway closet. He's like, "I'm in here."
Yeah, and bro,
Obviously he got in the door when she went and looked around.
But for the viewers, she went out the door. The patio is all like she didn't go.
She went around to the side of the house. The patio extends to the side of the house.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
went crazy, leaving the door open and doing all that nonsense.
But my thing is like, what is this guy got the newest New Balances at that time or some shit? What is he walking silent? Like this dude's got to be like 6'2", 250.
He does walk in silent, Braden. Yes, he does.
It's a wooden fucking patio balcony thing where it's like you're gonna hear it. You're gonna feel it in your own feet if you're on the same patio.
You ain't gonna hear shit. All right, you ain't gonna hear shit.
That's my problem, David. I got issues with this shit.
Yeah, you do. They struggle, and then he slams her head on the ground, fucking hard. Like it would have fucked her up. Slams her head on the ground hard, and then goes to stab her, but she fights him off, runs upstairs, and does the
she kicks him off, right?
She like kicks him off, like just gets him off.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's not important. You fucking come in with that, all right? You come in with good stuff, all right?
Gotta be precise.
We want good stuff around here.
I'm pretty sure she kicked him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great. She fights him off. How does the kick make it any different? She fights him off, and she runs upstairs and does her bedroom closet door trick, and then tries to call 911. The phone's disconnected, and then she does I don't know what it was on her phone or on her computer.
She goes on the computer and
she just types in
911.
call 911,
Yeah.
and then it calls 911.
I don't know.
Older people who like would have been like around during this 96, who would have like had, tell me about whatever that program was.
Yeah.
So I think she just typed on her computer call 911, and then it called 911. It's like, what's your emergency?
I was thinking like, what is this? What is she like in a chat room or something? And she just said like call 911, and someone was like, all right, I'll call 911 for.
Nick's 911 responded
To that on
like
the computer,
like via text on the computer. Yeah.
Really? I didn't. Okay, I missed
Yeah,
that.
it said 911. What is your emergency? Yeah, I don't. So people, by my older brother B, who's old as fuck, so fucking old. He remembers this movie. Brayden, if I'm ever that old, just fucking kill me. All right, 10 years from now, just kill me. All right.
David, you told me it's on the podcast.
He said when Scream came out, he went and saw it at the Promenade movie theater,
Which is
on
old
A1A.
as
Yeah,
fuck.
it doesn't exist anymore. I think it's a Planet Fitness now.
Yeah.
And he was like, it was like standing room, like people were sitting on the ground the night it came out. He's like, it was
So
wild.
many people were there.
Wild.
The
yeah.
only movie I've ever been in where it's
Scorpion
was like
King.
No.
Man,
It was Star Wars Return of the Sith. I think it's what it's called.
it's not what it's called.
What is it called?
I don't watch Star Wars movies, but I know it's called Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Return of the Jedi. Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, you're right. Revenge of the Sith. Yeah.
I know I'm right. Fucking.
And it was so fucking funny because everyone's losing their mind because it's packed. People are literally standing, like you're saying, and like sitting on the steps and shit. People are like cheering for when like Obi-Wan's doing shit. I swear to God. I look to my right. My dad is just fucking chin up towards the ceiling, snoring as loud as can be, dead fucking passed out. Just
I could not imagine going to see a movie with Daryl. And Daryl, like, no matter what the movie is, Daryl not falling asleep during it.
And you know,
like,
him,
I would be shocked if I went to a movie with him and he was awake the whole time and, like, engaged. Like, I would fully be like, oh, he is sleeping in this theater.
At some point, he's going to interrupt the movie with his snore. It's
yes.
like, it's verbatim. It's always going to happen. He's got the craziest snore if anyone's listening. But, yeah, so let's move on.
So the 911 thing happens. Someone could tell me about that. That'd be cool. And then the killer runs away, and her boyfriend comes in through the bedroom window and says he heard some screaming. She, like, jumps and hugs him. And as they're hugging, a cell phone falls out of his pocket. And she freaks out because it's 96 and people don't have cell phones. So she's like, oh, fuck you got that cell phone for? And, like, she freaks. He's like, what are you doing? Why are you freaking out? And, like, she runs out. He's like, what the fuck's going on? He's like, hey, what are you doing? Like, he's exactly like that. He is baffled.
Well, right when he got there, what I did not like was, she's like, he's here, he's trying to kill me. And immediately, like, one of the first things he says was, he's gone now. He's not here. It's like, bitch, how the fuck do you know? You just crawled through the window.
He's like, because he's trying to fucking
calm her down. I know, I get it.
Calm her down. He's like, whatever. It's because you got trust issues.
No, fuck no, bro.
He did an ocular pat down and assessed the situation. He knew he was safe in that room with her, and he's like, you're fine. You're with me. You're gonna be okay. Don't worry about it.
I love the way David tries to like underplay all these certain scenarios.
I mean, because
dude, if I crawl in a room and we're in a room and my significant other is crying, hysterically freaking out about some dude trying to kill her, I'm like, oh my God, dude. And now my life's in danger. I'm going to start freaking out too.
That's because you're selfish. I love how you broke it because my mind immediately, as you were doing this, I was like, he's just worried about himself. I was like, that's all. He is worried that he's going to get hurt.
No,
and then you fucking jump to it. You're like, my life's in danger.
For sure my life is in danger too. So now I'm going to act like I'm not going to be like,
no,
there's no possible way.
And then she gets more worked up. He kept her calm. He did his part. And she freaked out about the cell phone being there. Because Nev Campbell's got some trust issues. Just like, that's why you fucking relate to Nev Campbell. It's a trust issue. You bond with her over that shit.
I was like, yeah, Nev, be suspicious, just like that.
She runs down, she opens the front door, and the Scream mask. If you don't know what the Scream mask is, look it up. It's the mask this whole movie.
Yeah.
Scream mask is in her face. And then David Arquette like pulls it away, and he has his gun pointed at her too. Gun is drawn and pointed at her in the mask in her face at the front door. And then he's like, "I found this out front. I don't fucking know."
She's like fucking screaming, freaking out.
She's freaking out, and then they arrest her boyfriend.
Yeah, and she doesn't know because she's also scared. She somewhat thinks that he could be the killer because of the
cell phone. And she's like, I don't remember him having a cell phone. What the fuck's going on?
Well, and another part is kind of like what I was saying too is, yeah, I would somewhat be suspicious, especially if he was so nonchalant the way he was. Like, yeah, no, there's no one here. Like, motherfucker, how do you know? You just crawled through my window.
Just trying to keep her calm.
Yeah, I would be suspicious of him too. But
you're suspicious of everyone.
It's because I love
You're suspicious of Courtney Cox's fat-ass cameraman, too, probably. You're like, why is he so fat? What's the deal there? Why is he a fat guy? He's not that fat.
Actually.
And this is back-to-back movies where there's a character who gets fat-shamed, where I look at him like, he's not in shape by any means.
But he's not fat.
Yeah. I'm like, he's not like a fucking fat dude. Like, it'd be better if he was real fat, and she's like, hey, honestly, I know you're 50 pounds overweight, but when I say hurry and get the camera, move your fat ass and get my camera.
Yeah, that was
what happens here. Courtney Cox shows up and like wants to talk to Nev Campbell.
But he honestly seems like the most trustworthy guy in this entire film.
That's why I picked him.
Yeah,
that was strategic. I knew who to pick.
Yeah,
to be like, Braden probably thinks he fucking did it.
No, I'm saying I trust him the most.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Which is why I picked him, because you should trust him. Why the fuck would it be him?
Yeah,
you should trust him. No, it could be him.
It could be.
It's not, guys. Like, spoiler, it's not him. But, like, he's trying to get ratings for the news show. He's like, murders, that's good for Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox can keep me around as a fucking camera guy.
I haven't seen
I'm
the
gonna keep
movie,
creating
but isn't
stuff.
that kind of like the Jake Gyllenhaal movie, like Night Owl or something like that? I'm not sure. I haven't seen the movie, but isn't that like what it's loosely based upon? Is it Night Owl or something? I don't know what it's called.
Is quit talking, because you can tell I have the answer, and I physically reacted to you saying you haven't seen Nightcrawler, starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
Nightcrawler.
So like it's you pick the movie for next week. I want you to know without a doubt 100% the following week we're doing Nightcrawler.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, great movie. Great
Awesome.
movie. You need to see it. Jake
Yeah.
Gyllenhaal's amazing in it.
Jake Gyllenhaal is always
Yeah.
amazing.
Dude, he just did that movie where he's the 911 operator. Have you watched that?
No, but because I don't have Netflix at the moment, I'm gonna hack David's now. But
Netflix is $8.99.
I know I gotta
Buy
cancel.
Netflix. Hey, also you owe me Buzzsprout money.
Oh, yeah,
Send me
yeah.
some fucking Buzzsprout
I
money
got you.
and get Netflix.
I got you. But yeah, no, it definitely seems like a great movie. Jake Gyllenhaal. No, the movie you're talking about. I heard it. They filmed it in like a week or 2 weeks or some
Probably.
shit. Yeah.
It all takes place in in one room.
Yeah.
The whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine they didn't do it in a week.
Yeah.
It's good. Anyway, we're at the police station. David Arquette, he's got Nev Campbell sitting at his desk, and he can't get a hold of her dad, and he's like, you sure you said the Airport Hilton? And she's like, yeah, they do it in the, I think it's called the presentation room at the Airport Hilton. It's not called the presentation room, but it's some kind of room.
Yeah.
Where this is
I don't know what
this
it's
is
called.
South Park, the ginger rallies in whatever room at the Airport Hilton. He's like, yeah, he said Airport Hilton. He's like, could he be at another hotel in the area? She's like, I don't fucking know, maybe. That's what he told me. Dewey.
Maybe.
It's his name, Dewey.
Ah.
Remember Scary Movie?
Yeah.
And how much better his character is in Scary Movie, but also not crazy far off.
No.
No.
Which is the funny part. There
Do you-
was like
do
a
you
lot
remember-
of things that was like
so-
almost stolen.
So
Well,
stolen.
No, I don't mean like, but I'm saying like almost the exact, like obviously they're making fun of the, yeah. I
I got
don't-
so excited thinking that you thought Scary Movie came out first.
No.
I was so excited. I was like, you're out of your fucking mind.
No,
dude.
I mean like things that actually happened. Like obviously, yeah, they're doing a lot of verbatim things to make fun of the movie, but I mean like things that they actually thought was scary in this movie is like what they did in that movie just to like. I was watching this movie thinking like, dude, this is literally almost comedy. Some of the shit that's happening in Scream.
I think that was. I don't think they missed the mark on what they were trying to do.
Okay,
I think
they were trying to have some.
think when it was funny,
comedy
they
in-
were trying to be funny.
Okay,
Yeah, absolutely. With there's no way David Arquette's character was supposed to be like a serious cop.
yeah, it's like stuff like that.
He
but
was
even
he was
like,
a fucking goofball this whole movie, and like weird shit with Courtney Cox later that we'll get into. And
yeah.
he keeps asking his sister while he's at where he's like, "Mom said, do you treat me like an officer of the law when I'm wearing this badge?"
Well, even other
There's
stuff,
no way
but
they
yeah.
didn't think that was ridiculous.
No, yeah.
Yeah, like they're like, no, let's make this character a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Can't find the dad. Sheriff's questioning Nev Campbell's boyfriend in his office, which has a view, like him and Nev Campbell can see each other from where they are. And he's like, what are you doing with the cellular phone? And he's like, it's fucking, everyone's got one, sheriff.
Anyone that's cool.
And his dad's there, and he's like, and how about you going in through her window the other night? And dad's like, I didn't know you were out last night. And he's like, yeah, I was fucking watching TV. I was bored. I went for a ride and then stopped at my girlfriend's house. Like, what's crazy there? And he's
Yeah.
like, so the camera's like, well, you were out when a fucking double murder happened. That's what's crazy. And then you're here and you got a cell phone.
Yeah.
Big money bags over here with your cell phone.
Well, then they say they're going to run the history of the cell phone. I don't know what. It's probably a better way to say it. Like
They're going to run the call log.
yeah, the call log. Yeah.
And see. And he's like, fucking run it.
Yeah.
Fucking run it. And then he just looks out and looks all sad and stares at Nev Campbell, and she stares at him and looks sad. Outside, Courtney Cox, fat-ass camera guy, is asking where the donuts are, if they got more donuts in the van. Like, I'm not even joking. I was like, it's great. This is great. Courtney Cox thinks they'll let her into the station because she's not just anyone, but they don't. She's like, I'm going to go get into the police station. There's a billion reporters out there. And, like, the police are stopping. the camera guy's like, not going to let you. And she's like, I'm not just anyone. They'll let me in. And they, surprise, surprise, they're like, no, you can't come in here. We're a fucking police station. Nev Campbell's boyfriend gets walked through in handcuffs, and he's like, Nev Campbell, I'm going to kill you. No, he's like, Nev Campbell, come on. You know it wasn't me. Tell him, Nev Campbell. And she doesn't say shit. And then Nev Campbell's friend, Billy Brubaker's boyfriend, and David Arquette's sister, she's triple threat in this movie. Yeah. She shows up, and she's like, come on, we're going to leave. And David Arquette's like, dude, she can't leave yet. And she's like, we're fucking leaving. And he's like, what did Mom say? When I wear this badge, you treat me like a man of the law. And then the sheriff says they can leave and says to go out the back door. And as they're leaving, he looks at his sister. He's like, hey, don't do that in here. He's my superior. She says, the janitor's your superior. Then they keep walking.
Damn.
Courtney Cox knows about the back door. So she goes over there, and she shows up as Nev Campbell walks out, and there's cameras there.
Well, it's kind of like it almost seems like a back alley. Even.
Yeah, it's like a back,
yeah.
It's over, yeah. It's where you wouldn't expect people to come out of.
Yeah.
Courtney Cox like, I bet you they try and get her out the back door.
Yeah.
So she goes over there. Strategic move, worked out. And Nev Campbell comes out, and she's asking her
perfect timing
questions. And Nev Campbell's like, how's the book going? She's like, it's good. It's going to be coming out later this year. She goes, all right, I'll be sure to look for it. And then Courtney Cox says, I'll send you a copy. And Nev Campbell turns around and just fucking right hooks her.
You know, pretty decent form.
It was a good punch.
Yeah.
I doubt Nev Campbell threw it. It was good enough. It was good enough to where
you think there was a stunt?
It was good enough to where I did not think Nev Campbell threw the punch. Yeah.
Okay.
It looked good enough where I was like, a professional threw that punch. Yeah.
Maybe she's just
or
a
Nev
badass.
Campbell's a badass.
Yeah.
One of the two.
I like to think she's a badass.
And then they leave, and they're back at the friend's house. The friend's pumped. She's like, I'll send you a copy. Bam!
Boom! Yeah!
Boom! Bitch went down!
You got her.
And then David Arquette walks in, throws her an ice bag for her hand.
Oh, yeah, so the cop, he, like, escorts her away right after she punches her, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah, he comes and gets her. He's like, fuck out of here.
This is back in the day. You couldn't do that today.
Nah.
Got a body cam,
Courtney Cox is pressing charges.
Yeah,
yeah. They're back at the house, and the mom comes in and says there's a phone call for Nev Campbell, and she goes, is it my mom? Or is it my dead mom? Yeah, that's what she said. She says, my mom? Is she not really dead? No, she says, is it my dad? And she said, no.
It's fucking not.
Yeah, it just says no. And you would think she would not acknowledge the fact that Nev Campbell was just attacked by a murderer in her house. You wouldn't acknowledge the fact that she was there.
Right?
Yeah. If it's not her dad, you're like, she's not here. She doesn't live here.
Yeah.
And you hang up.
Yeah.
Instead, she just leaves the phone, and Nev Campbell goes and answers it, and it's the killer.
Wow.
And he's like, looks like you fingered the wrong guy again. And she screams, and David Arquette comes
would have been great if he would have been like, what up? What up? And then she just, what the fuck are you calling me?
Once the phone call's over, David Arquette comes out, gun drawn.
Yeah.
Too. And he's like, what's going on? What's going on? They're like, nothing.
Walk away.
And then he picks up the phone and she goes, hello?
No one. Yeah.
Nothing.
He's just
calls
so ready.
over.
I love it. He's just fucking ready. Ready to prove himself. I'm the deputy of this town.
Next day, the news is talking about Nev Campbell's mom being raped and murdered, and then, this is where they show, I jumped the gun. This is where they show that Ray Donovan is the one that did it.
Yeah.
Ray Donovan, raping and killing people.
Yeah.
How about that? They're eating breakfast. Dude, that fucking mom, she has that on in, like, the kitchen TV.
Has what on? Oh.
That's how, it's the news about all that. Like, what do you... No awareness for this woman.
That's what... No, but that's what that's one thing that pissed me off. Every fucking person in this movie has no awareness.
Yeah, but so, like, high school kids often don't.
I get that. But a bunch of like adults basically who reference, say, and do certain things around her that deal specifically with her trauma, and they don't have any type of like sympathy in a way for the way that they. I'm generalizing all the things in the movie, but
but really the mom here. We're not glossing over how ridiculous it is that the mom, first of all, put her on the phone there when it was the killer, and then just has the news talking about her mom getting raped and murdered, just has that on.
I think the only person that did any justice for what I'm talking about is the principal.
Fonz?
Yeah, Fonz.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
David Arquette eats a donut for breakfast while everyone else eating like eggs and bacon and oatmeal, like full thing. I think just to really hammer in, like, yeah, no, he's a cop. He's a cop. He's eating a donut. You gotta eat a donut. Everyone else eats a normal breakfast. You have a donut.
Yeah, they took like an entire like 10 minutes to think it over. Like, what would the copy and a donut, right?
At schools, David Arquette gives them a ride to school. As soon as Neve Campbell gets out of the car, a reporter steps in her face and says, "How does it feel to almost be brutally butchered?" And she's like, "I'm getting out of here. I'm walking away." And
yeah.
she's like, "People have a right to know."
And I'm like,
the lady,
what the fuck?
Again, this is a fucking adult woman. She's a high school kid.
Yeah.
People have a right to know how it feels to almost be brutally butchered last night. You would have been gutted like a fucking fish. Like crazy over the top. She didn't say the second part.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that she did that.
And that grinded my gears.
It should. Neve Campbell walks up to Courtney Cox to talk. And Courtney Cox...
So she sees her
Courtney
parked
Cox
out
is like,
front.
"Oh, grab the camera." And she's like, "No, off the record." She's like, "Fuck that." She's like, "You owe me." She's like, "I don't know you shit." She goes, "You owe my mom."
Boom.
And then she kind of like gives homeboy a second, and she's like,
they go deep right now.
They do. She's like, you with you're making your. She's like, "Oh, your mom's story was the hot court case of the summer. Someone was gonna write about it." She's like, "Yeah, but it had to be you with all your fucking lies and your theories." And then Courtney Cox is like, "What are you mad about? You got what you wanted. Ray Donovan is in jail, and they're gonna gas the guy." And then Courtney Cox is asking questions. She's like, "Oh, he raped and killed my mom." She's like, "He consensually had sex with your slut mother." She didn't say slut. But she's like, "She consensually had sex with your mom and then was framed for murder." And Neve Campbell's like, "You really think that's what happened? You think someone framed?" She's like, "I saw him leaving with the jacket that was covered in blood." She's like, "You saw someone leaving with that jacket." And then Courtney Cox kind of just picks up on a cue that she looks at Neve Campbell and she's like, you don't think he did it. She's like, you think the killer did these murders. And then Neve Campbell's, or her friend walks up.
She's
like,
really more, yeah, but she's really more like conflicted, confused, because what Courtney Cox is saying is starting to make sense in her head. So now she's becoming confused because they're like explaining like the case. Like this reporter did the entire, case, reporting the case over her mom's death. And she doesn't believe that the guy who's being framed actually murdered
Ray Donovan
actually murdered the mom, and starts going into detail about it to where Neve Campbell starts actually taking in like what she's saying and is like, fuck.
Yeah, and
she might be right.
At one point, Neve Campbell's like, "Do you talk to Ray Donovan?" And she says, "All the time." And Neve Campbell goes, "Has the story changed?" And she goes, "Not one word." So Neve Campbell's like, "All right, it's been a year. This guy hasn't changed anything of his story. These murders are happening now."
And then there's just like a lot about like how apparently...
Well, the guy on the phone said you fingered the wrong guy again.
Yeah, so it's like they're trying to say like Neve Campbell's mom was like sleeping around, and she was like trying to say she was like a slut, and like, I don't know, trying to build up the fact that it was almost like coming.
Not yet, are they? They haven't started doing that yet.
But I thought someone
it comes up in a couple scenes.
Okay.
But this is the first time that it's she might have consensually had sex with that guy.
Yeah.
This is the first time. We don't hear about other people yet.
No, I don't think. Yeah, and it wasn't really even said like that. Like everyone kept referring to her having sex with Ray Donovan as if she was sleeping around. I'm like, well, her sleeping around with
it gets brought up later.
Oh, okay.
We'll get there. Okay. We'll get there. Inside the school, Nev Campbell and her friend and Billy Brubaker are hanging out at their lockers, and someone runs through the hallway wearing the Scream costume and holding a plastic knife, screaming. And people Nev Campbell gets scared. People are like laughing.
Oh, and the motherfucker like grabs her somewhat, or like runs by and like fucking like somewhat grabs her.
Gets
like,
in her face, like
dude. Which once again, yeah, like you're right, like high school kids, but like
it's
Jesus
crazy,
Christ,
but,
dude.
yeah.
Like, well, I'm saying too, if I'm like one of the friends, like her friends, maybe not fucking Shaggy, Billy Butcher, whatever, Billy Brubaker.
The guy caught a no-hitter in the Cape Cod League.
Yeah, him.
USC.
You would think that someone would, at some point, somewhat stick up for her.
They do.
No, they don't.
Someone does.
Yeah, but not really. Like throughout the film, I'm saying it's just like ridiculous shit that I feel like should not be happening to her. But it's a movie. So go on.
She's going away and runs into her boyfriend, and man, like I was hoping we would disagree here. He's a prick here about the whole thing. He's like, you'd rather accuse me of murder than touch me. He's like, you need to get over your mom. She was attacked.
Wait, did you want me to be...
I was hoping you'd be like,
yeah, why did he fuck her?
Yeah, she fucking accused him of murder and all this stuff. Like, it's fucking...
He like, just wants to get his dick sucked and like...
At no point in this conversation is he like...
David, what do you think?
Is he like... So no, none of the sex stuff did I think you were going to be fully on board with him. I thought the him being accused part...
Oh, that I was going to be
You were going to be like, yeah, he should be mad. Like, that's what I thought you were going to go that route.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which isn't that far-fetched.
It's not. Like, for him to be, I don't think, like, in reality, he should be super, but, like,
he's
he should
very
be a little,
mad here.
He should be a little upset if he really thinks he's innocent and, like, that.
But also, so, like, at no point in this thing, he should not be happy.
And if she really thinks that he's the murderer.
He should just not be happy that he had to do all of that night.
Yeah, that too.
That she thought it was him and then he had to be in jail and all that shit.
That should piss him off.
Like,
a little bit.
Yeah,
sure.
but also, like, at no point in this conversation does he care that she was attacked by someone.
But that's my point, though.
At no point does he give a
is what I was
fuck
just
that
about to
happened.
say. Is that what you like takes me out of the scene is the fact that he's not having anything for her. I'm like, dude, she just got almost killed.
He said, you'd rather accuse me of murder than touch me. He's like, you need to get over your mom dying. It's been a year. When my mom left my dad, I had to accept it. She was gone and not coming back. And she's like, your parents split up.
Your mom's in a fucking other state.
Yeah, your mom just lives in another town. My mom got murdered. She's in a coffin somewhere.
It's way different.
And he's like, I just want my girlfriend back. And
and right when he said that, I'm getting Marky Mark vibes.
To a degree. Sure.
To a degree. Not to the full extent, but like right there, I'm like, that's a little Marky Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. That must be hard. No, that's the thing. Marky Mark knew how to play it.
Yeah,
he was fucking Reese Witherspoon quick.
Well, no, he was smooth. He was smooth with
and that's why he fucked her quick.
Yeah.
Fucking Nev Campbell's boyfriend here. He's struggling, man.
Yeah.
Struggling.
Doesn't know what he wants.
So now we cut to Fonzie's in. He's got the two guys. There's two of them running with the masks.
Yeah.
He's got them in his office, and he's going fucking nuts.
And I loved it because I'm like, finally, someone's laying in.
Over the top nuts, though.
No, I loved it. That's what I want.
He's holding scissors, and he's like getting in their face with the scissors, like he's gonna kill them.
Honestly,
it's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
You're a principal of a school. You can't do that.
No, like that.
He's like, I should cut you motherfuckers open.
That was honestly the most realistic part of this entire movie to me. Yes, because
there's no principal that would do that.
100% there is. 100%.
He like sticks the scissors in the knife. He's like, oh, am I overreacting? No. I wouldn't be overreacting if I cut you open right now.
No, yeah, let's take it back for like 2 seconds. Like
Mr. Hoover has threatened to fucking slit your throat?
No.
Is that what you're about to say?
No, I'm not going to compare it to a principal. I'm saying if you are a principal and you really genuinely care about your kids, like you really do, which is how they're portraying his character, is that he really does care about his kids. Like that's how they've been showing him. And then you find out that these two kids are being so disrespectful to like literal people's trauma and murder, like shit that people. Yeah, I'm sure a male adult would be so disgusted by these kids' actions that he would act extreme. I could totally see it, and I enjoyed it because I feel like it was actually like a realistic way of someone reacting to it. Like, honestly though, like I don't think some older guys can be like, just get over it. You guys can't be doing that. Like, come on.
But like, there's a middle ground. There's absolutely a middle ground from you being like, oh, whatever.
Well, what
and
I
him
find is,
and him shoving scissors in a student's throat.
well, you find that more extreme than them being the way that they were. I find the way
They're
that the
kids. I expect them to act like that. I expect them to be pieces of shit because most kids are pieces of shit.
Well, let me say
I don't
this, too.
expect principals to shove scissors in a kid's throat.
Let me-
So, dude, he expels them. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely expel. You don't threaten their lives like a fucking psycho.
Well, because one, this is what I was going to say is, he's not accusing them of doing it. He's accusing them of being dumb pieces of shit, inconsiderate pieces of shit.
Sure.
But maybe in the back of his mind, and the way that everyone is already addressing this whole thing, is that this could be someone from the high school. This could be a kid from the high school. They're not making it seem like this is a parent or something like that. They're thinking that this could be someone like even in the high school. So I think that kind of goes along with the reason that he's acting like that. Maybe he feels slightly responsible that he needs to not only protect his kids, but someone find out maybe who this is, because it could be someone in his school.
And what does he think? Shoving scissors in those kids' fucking throats? It's definitely not those kids.
True.
It's definitely not the kids who dressed up as the killer and ran through the fucking halls. So he's just going to scare. He already expelled them.
Well, he's probably just super pissed off that they're so inconsiderate.
Yeah, you need to be the adult. You need to keep your fucking cool.
You want to be extreme? I'll show you
I will
extreme.
cut you, motherfucker. Like, these are
I'm
kids.
the fucking
These
Fonz.
are fucking kids. You can't do that.
I loved it, David.
There's so, like, as the fucking viewer, I loved it, but a real principal, you're like, it's the most realistic thing.
No, yeah.
No, a principal can't do that.
I think they can.
He cannot work in education ever again if you do that. Those kids go home and like, hey, I got expelled, and the principal held a pair of scissors up against my throat and said he was going to fucking kill me.
Bro, it was like 20 years before that. Kids were like literally getting hit by fucking teachers.
Yeah, and 20 years later, you can't be doing that.
You're right.
So
Okay.
Nev Campbell goes in the bathroom, and there's two cheerleaders talking shit about her.
Like mad shit.
Saying-
Like, this is some bitchy shit.
Like all over the place. Saying she made up getting attacked because she wants attention. She probably just wanted she probably killed Drew Barrymore and her boyfriend because she wanted Barrymore's boyfriend. She's a little slutty slut, just
And
like
so
her
is her-
mom.
yeah, bro, yeah.
Just like her dead mom. She got PTSD from her mom dying, and she's going crazy.
Mom's just a slut.
Nev Campbell like goes and sits in the stalls and is just sad. Doesn't address it, which is, I guess, whatever.
Let me say, from an acting
Braden would
standpoint,
have come out. Braden would come out and be like, "Oh, you got shit to say?
I'll fuck
You got
both
shit
of you
to
up.
say about Braden?
Same fucking
Why
time.
go see Fonz? Fonz will fucking stab you for me."
He reminds me of PC Principal when he fucks up Cartman. What did you say? Fucking grabs Cartman, throws him, breaks him against the stall, starts beating the shit out of Eric Cartman. All the kids are watching. Oh man, great times. But
I don't know what show that is. So they leave the bathroom and Nev Campbell just goes up and like she's
But
at the,
hold on, I
she's
wanna
at the
say-
sink.
Great acting. I mean, for her just to have reactions to what these bitches are saying, great acting.
Yeah, she's upset. She's upset. She's sad.
Yeah.
Then she hears her name getting whispered and turns around and kind of starts looking under the stalls. And then in the first stall, you see a pair of boots and like a long black, like fucking cape looking thing that the killer's wearing. And the killer busts out of the thing. She ducks. He hits a sink.
Oh no, David, she doesn't duck. She does a fucking. I'm trying to think of which badass girl I should.
I mean, just do it. We're very far into this thing.
She's like Angelina Jolie from fucking Tomb Raider. The way she slides underneath, like he comes out like swinging along with his with this big long knife, and she goes like slides underneath, goes out the door, and I'm like, man, what is she like? One, why did she wait until this motherfucker comes out of the stall that's right in front of the door? If you notice that he's in the stall, you run immediately.
She didn't want to get blindsided by him coming out. She wanted to be able to break
Wait,
down,
yeah.
have her full vision and be able to figure out what her move
And
was.
that's the athlete in her.
If she runs too soon, she's just got to keep running.
Yeah, she
And
doesn't.
that's
get
where
that.
she runs the risk. Yeah.
Yeah.
She wanted to wait. She's like, I know I can beat him. I know I can beat him. If,
I know
if we
when
square up, I know I'm out of
Yeah.
here.
Once
Yeah.
when he swings, I'm sliding and
Yeah.
I'm getting through.
Yeah, she assessed the situation and
Yeah.
was like, this is what gives me the best chance.
But how does he end up? I get it. It's back in the day. There's probably not video cameras or anything like that. But like, still, this is a fucking high school, bro. There's school. There's monitored school teachers that are walking about. People fucking watch the hallways. How is this fucking full-grown, probably man who's 6'2" ending up in the women's bathroom? Just a little thing that I'm like, all right, whatever.
It's a she. It's the perfect crime.
With big boots, I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were big, but we saw the boots. They were big.
they were big.
So now we're out front. Courtney Cox is flirting with David Arquette for being young and buff. And he takes the bait. 'Cause of course he does.
Try to remind me when we get later into their relationship. I wanted to say something about it, but I don't want to say it yet.
All right.
I know
You know,
probably won't.
I never remember to remind you, so I'm going to need you to remember.
Okay, I'll try to remember.
Fonzie cancels school for the rest of the day, and the town has a 9 p.m. curfew. Billy Brubaker wants to have a party at his house. Nev Campbell, his girlfriend, gets Nev Campbell to be like, all right, we'll go.
Yeah.
We'll go do it. We'll party it up with the brew, the big brew. And he's like, bring food. And then he's pumped. He's like, yeah, we're having a motherfucking party. Fonzie is in his office playing with the mask.
Yep.
He's putting it on and looking at himself in the mirror and going, crazy. His door knocks twice and he goes to check it and there's no one there either time. And the second time he walks out to look and
There's a
goes out
janitor.
in an office. We'll get to him.
Oh, sorry.
Goes out in an office where there's copiers and stuff, and then opens the door and says, what he says, damn little shits. And then the janitor says, what'd you call me? Did you notice the fucking baffling thing about this janitor?
No. What he was wearing? Or
Yes.
Yeah, it looked like a farm or some shit,
He
right?
was dressed...
like a farmer, right?
No.
Oh.
I mean, kind of, but exactly like Freddy Krueger.
Really?
Wearing a hat, wearing the fucking red and green
Yeah,
striped
'cause he
shirt.
was wearing, overalls, right?
The red and green striped shirt. He looked exactly like Freddy Krueger. He just didn't have the fucking razor fingers.
Oh, wow. I didn't know
He looked exactly... To the point, I rewound. I was like, why? What's the creative choice here? Why is the janitor dressed like that?
Yeah.
But he was. He was dressed like that.
I haven't seen the movie, but I'm sure there's probably something. Maybe Freddy Krueger was... I haven't seen Freddy Krueger, so I wouldn't know. I was going to say, don't look at me
I
like
was
that.
about to cancel the rest of this episode. I thought you were telling me you hadn't seen Scream.
No, I was saying...
And you just watched fucking highlights somewhere or something. I was like, all right, well, we're done. That's all for this week.
No,
Next week, I promise Braden's going to watch the movie.
Because I'm saying there's probably something from the movie Freddy Krueger where he's either...
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street, where he's probably a janitor, or there was some scene where something similar is what I'm saying. To maybe where they thought, oh, this would be a fun, cool thing to have him dress like that and have a little, I don't know, something tied to Nightmare on Elm Street.
Doubt it.
You piece of fucking shit.
He goes back in his office and looks around, opens his closet, nothing's there, and then closes the door to his office, and the killer's behind it.
Just behind the fucking door,
Guys,
come on.
we lose Fonzie. Fonzie's dead. It's a fucking shame. We're at Nev Campbell's friend's house. Nev Campbell's friend is playing School's Out Forever.
Yeah.
That song, they're blasting that at their house, which is why they're out because Nev Campbell was attacked by someone at the school. That's why they're not at school. They're blasting that song.
Yeah, whatever gets him out of school, am I right?
Nev Campbell's friend is asking, do you think Ray Donovan might be innocent? There's rumors about other men with your mom. And Nev Campbell goes, and you believe those rumors? And her friend says, well, you know, like, you can only hear the Richard Gere gerbil story so many times before you have to believe it. Do you know the Richard Gere gerbil story?
No.
It's the actor. There's rumors circulating around Hollywood that he shoved a gerbil up his ass.
Is this why South Park did what they did?
That is, yes. That is why.
No way.
That is why they compared. That is what.
So Lemmy-Winks?
That is what we're not talking about South Park, man.
No, but come
That
on,
is what her friend just compared rumors about Nev Campbell's mom having an affair on her dad and slutting it up around town. She compared it to rumors about an actor shoving a gerbil up his ass.
Did he really shove a gerbil up his ass?
Who the fuck knows? But how crazy insensitive is that? Dude, that'd be like, dude, if your mom got you thought your mom was raped and murdered. And I was like, well, we heard about her slutting it around, you know, just like that actor who shoved shit up his ass. How would you react to that?
Yeah, but it makes no sense because, like, the gerbil wouldn't be able to survive up his ass.
So, dude, here's the thing. If you're allowed to do what you just tried to do, you can't make yourself laugh this hard doing it. You could have made that really funny, but you broke in the middle of it. Dude, roll with it. We can make something out of it. You can't give up halfway and just laugh. You have to see your joke through to the end. You can't just be like, well, you can't not listen to what I say just to sit on your joke and then not do it. You gotta have follow through, Braden.
It's too hard.
It's not.
It's not?
I do it all the time. I'm very good at it. I'm very good at it. You gotta be able to do it.
That's why I fucking hate you, David.
You could have done that. I don't think your laugh was real. I think you just gave up midway through and you're like, I don't want to keep going.
No, it was a lot.
Off to the side, you see the killer in the woods. He's just in the woods at that house. Nothing happens at this house, but she's in the woods at that house.
Yeah.
Now we're at the video store. Jamie Kennedy's at work. Tons of people are buying murder movies, and Billy Brubaker's there talking to him. Nev Campbell's boyfriend is there. He's over in the. He's over. There we go. That was a good time to do it. He's over in the killer section, and he's talking to some chicks. And Jamie Kennedy's like, "That's fucking crazy. You know, if you're the only suspect in something, would you in fucking a double murder? You're the only suspect so far. Would you be over in the fucking slasher section looking at movies?" Brubaker's defending him. He's like, "Why'd the cops let him go?" Jamie Kennedy goes, "They don't watch enough movies. If they watch Prom Night, they would be able to fucking figure this out."
This kid's a fucking fanatic with scary movies.
Brubaker then says that he thinks it's Nev Campbell's dad. Jamie Kennedy says, "Her dad's already dead. He's going to pop up somewhere on the last reel."
Jesus.
And Jamie Kennedy then starts screaming that there's a formula. Everyone's a suspect. And the whole store just stops and stares at him. They're staring. What the fuck's this guy doing?
Yeah.
And then he stops. Jamie Kennedy then turns around. Nev Campbell's boyfriend's in his face, asking how they know it wasn't him with his movie obsession. And Jamie Kennedy's like, "I'll be the first one to agree with you." He's like, "I'd absolutely be a suspect." And he's like, what would your motive be? He goes, "It's the millennium. I don't have a motive."
Yeah, and then they start going into, like, certain characters who didn't have motives or something like that?
No, way later.
Oh, okay.
Millennium. I don't have a motive. And then Nev Campbell's boyfriend, he goes, "Millennium. I like that." Honks his nose, and then, like, lightly, like, pats his cheek.
And I was like,
says,
what a
good kid.
And I was like, what a piece of fucking shit.
What a weird thing to do.
Yeah, but I'm like,
not even a piece of shit, just weird.
Yeah, but like,
what's that guy's deal? Fucking
piece of
touch
shit.
me.
Yeah, exactly. Piece of shit in the sense, like, how dare you have the audacity to act like that and touch
honk my nose?
Yeah, you're a piece of shit.
Pat my cheek and say, "Good kid."
Fuck you, dude. What am I, some fucking peasant to you, where you could just fucking treat me like a toy or some shit? Honk my noise.
It's curfew.
My nose. Jesus.
Curfew. Businesses are closing early. Moms are ending picnics early. Everyone's getting in early.
Yeah.
Which
makes sense.
Yeah, Nev Campbell and David Arquette and her friend, David Arquette's sister, Billy Brubaker's girlfriend.
Yeah.
they're all out there, and they're like talking about what if there's going to be a movie about you. And she says, David Arquette says, I think Meg Ryan would play you. And she says, yeah, with my luck, I'd probably get fucking Tori Spelling. Which I don't know if that was just a dig at Tori Spelling. Like, fuck you, Tori Spelling.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know why they did that, but they did. They said, fuck you, Tori Spelling.
And nothing with the actor. It was the director. The director's like,
fuck Tori Spelling.
Worked with them one time, and I just fucking hated it.
Hater.
Yeah.
Nev Campbell and her friend are shopping, and...
Because, you know, kind of shop during them.
Gotcha. Billy Brubaker said bring food. You gotta get food for the party.
True.
They do what Billy Brubaker says.
Yeah.
And Nev Campbell's talking about how her boyfriend has been patient, and she's sexually anorexic, and it's probably not that fair to him, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
Which he broke her down. He fucking broke her.
There was a lot of shaming.
Yeah.
Thrown at a lot of different characters in this movie.
Yeah, but she's just like, I don't know, I'm sexually anorexic.
Where if a lot of people have similar type of, I don't know, things that they're going through, they're probably watching this movie like, fuck these people. This is harsh. Like fat shaming, skinny shaming, like anyone that might have.
You're talking about like other. So I thought you meant like the characters going through this, and then
no.
Like, okay,
I'm
you're
saying
talking
like
about people going to watching this, and
they're probably like, Jesus, this is fucking harsh.
Yeah, absolutely. They walk past the freezer section, and we can see in the reflection of the freezer door, the killer's in the fucking grocery store.
That's what I'm saying,
what
bro.
What the fuck is happening?
There's so much shit
How's
in this
that
movie.
happen?
Because no one's got awareness, David. No one can fucking look over and say, what the fuck?
They're too trusting.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. They're too trusting.
And if there's one thing they can learn from me, David, it's to have trust issues.
There you go. Sometimes it helps.
Yeah.
David Arquette walks up to the sheriff's office, and sheriff's out front, and he's like, where the hell you been? And he has an ice cream cone. He's like,
strawberry.
I was busy keeping an eye on Nev Campbell. And the sheriff's like, all right, we got the phone records, and it turns out it was a cell phone in her dad's name. So he made the calls. We're trying. He's our lead suspect now. We're trying to find him. David Arquette's like, all right, should I bring Nev Campbell in? He's like, no. We'll wait until we have her dad and we're sure it's him before we bring her in. He's like, okay. David Arquette then gives. Here's what's kind of baffling to me. David Arquette. I mean, the rest of David Arquette in this movie is kind of baffling to me.
No, yeah.
Him winning the WCW World Championship is baffling to me.
I was going to say that's probably the least baffling thing.
Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, two of the greatest of all time, held that belt.
They did.
So did David Arquette. Baffling. But he gives them a ride to Billy Brubaker's party.
Because what better sheriff deputy would do than to drive kids to a illegal kind of party? You know,
there's a murderer out, like all that shit, and he's like, "Yeah, go."
Oh, there's a curfew.
So it seems. So everyone leaves at one point. It seems like later, a bunch of people are leaving. It seems like
no, that's not the reason. I thought there's a different reason. I'm pretty certain.
So we'll get there, but I think it's a bunch of them went until curfew, and then some of the other ones left for the reason I think you're talking about later in the night.
Yeah.
But a big group of them leave earlier than that.
Because of the curfew, you're saying?
Yeah, I assume that's why everyone was leaving.
Yeah.
And then some people stayed.
No, I think you're right.
Courtney Cox's aunt followed David Arquette to the house, too. Let's follow the police car to a fucking high school party. That's journalism 101.
So, I guess I'll just say it now. I think that she's just doing this just to get kind of like special access to like either crime scenes.
Doing what?
Flirting with him. Flirting with David Arquette. So
is that because later when he like comes and he's like, oh, you want like talks with her and he's like, well, you want to come do this? She like when her back is to him rolls her eyes.
Wait, what?
Absolutely. Later on, we'll get to when they fucking meet at this part. How far? We're right here. Courtney Cox parks over to like the side, and David Arquette like walks right up to him, like finds him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "I'm gonna go check out the party. You want to join me?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'd love to."
Yeah.
And let me grab my coat. And then when she goes and grabs her coat, and she grabs something else, she looks at her cameraman and just like rolls her eyes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like this fucking like a fucking.
Well, that's how I kind of took it. Every single interaction
Yeah,
they've had is that she's just whining and dining him, kind of.
Absolutely. She didn't see this goofy looking sheriff's deputy
was just
and
like,
on
"Oh."
sight be like, "Oh, you're so handsome," and no, she's like, "Let me fucking play this guy." Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I've been taking this as the entire time. She's wheeling and dealing
Well,
him.
yeah, good fucking good detective skills there, Braden.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely what she's doing. She goes to join him.
So I'm just feeling bad for David Arquette.
Party.
I'm like, oh man.
They're all partying. It's high school kids partying. The doorbell rings, and Billy Brubaker tells his girlfriend he's gonna get up and get it, and tells his girlfriend to go get some more beer. And she's like, "What, a fucking beer, bitch?" Like, all right. And then Brubaker is pumped. He's like, "Courtney Cox is here! Fucking Courtney Cox!" And then David Arquette and Courtney Cox walk in together. David Arquette, he's a sheriff's deputy in uniform, takes a beer out of a kid's hand and says, "You're underage." And goes, "Nah, I'm just messing with you. Have a good time, man."
Different times, man.
fucking
Must have been just been
crazy.
different times, you know?
Courtney Cox plants a camera in the living room. All the kids are very impressed with her being there. They're like,
And
"Oh,
it's
I love
not
your show. I
that-
watch all the time."
It's not that secretive of a camera either.
No, it wasn't hid particularly well. It's like right above the TV.
But no one fucking realizes.
Everyone's excited except Nev Campbell. She's like, "What the fuck's he doing here?"
Yeah.
Nev Campbell talks to David Arquette and she's like, "Hey, did
I'm
you find my dad?" And he's like, "Nah, I didn't find her."
Why would a bunch of high schoolers who are doing drugs and alcohol be like, "Oh yeah, the sheriff deputy and the main reporter of our town is here"?
She's not a main reporter of the town. She says she's like a tabloid journalist. It'd be like
Well, she just made.
It'd be like if Maria Menounos.
Well, my point is, she
showed
just
up.
ran the biggest drama crime story of the town from last year since it was her mother. So, like, I'm kind of taking it as if she's like one of the most famous known reporters in town.
She's. They don't say exactly what it is. She's a national reporter, but that story was a big deal, so she went there
Okay, and she's still
to
there.
cover it. Yeah.
Okay.
And she does like tabloid stuff, like Maria Menounos on E.
Yeah, but you get
It'd
my
be
point,
like
though.
it'd be like I've. No, I think
What,
she's.
a reporter and a sheriff deputy showing up to a
So
party.
they don't give a fuck about the sheriff deputy. She's a celebrity to them.
Okay,
Yeah, like that's a big deal. They're like, "Oh shit!"
but who wants to do
The
fucking
girls
drugs
are all
around,
like, the girls are all like, "Oh, I love your show. I watch all the time."
yeah, I
And
guess.
Dewey's a little bitch. Dewey's real name is Dwight, and everyone's called him Dewey against his like. He does not want that.
Yeah.
Everyone's called him that his whole life. Dewey's a little bitch. Not gonna do shit.
I'm just
She's
saying
a
for the
celebrity,
overall
and they're
for the
like,
kids
"Hey,
at the
that's
party. You
awesome."
think you'd be like, "What the fuck are you guys doing here?" Nope.
You're like, "Oh, cool. What's up?"
Yeah, I find that odd.
Celebrity. It's a celebrity. If fucking Conor McGregor walked through that door, I wouldn't just be like, "What the fuck are you doing here, Conor?"
That's a little different.
Conor, there's the door. Get the fuck out of here.
That's a
I'm
little
doing
different.
drugs over here, Conor. No, I'd be like, "Holy shit, Conor McGregor."
Conor would do drugs with you and then help
Conor
you
McGregor,
beat the shit out of
Conor
someone at the
McGregor's
party.
a weird level of fame because he could just walk in through your door, and you are not calling the police.
No. But I am calling the police if he fucking beats the shit out of me like he did that DJ. Did you see that?
I did, but like he's a weird level of famous to where he can just do shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
No one gives a fuck. You're like, "Hey, Conor, it's awesome. You want something to drink? Thanks for coming."
You're right. That's a little different, though. That's a little different.
I think you're reading too much. There's too much weird shit in this movie. You do this. You pick a weird. Courtney Cox is a celebrity in this
Dog.
in this movie, and in real life.
But,
by the way.
bro,
Courtney
we're
Cox-
talking about
she
something
is
that
a
is obviously weird.
She's but like they're like, "Oh, this is cool."
But it's a sheriff deputy, too, with a bunch of kids that are underage doing illegal shit. You
No.
think everyone would be appalled and be like, why the fuck are these two here?
It's a small town. Dewey's a little bitch. We established that. Quit harping on Dewey. She's a celebrity that just walked into the house, and they're like, "Holy shit!" They're drunk, and they're like, "Holy shit! It's fucking Courtney Cox is here. This is crazy."
I guess I might be like that, too.
Yeah, you absolutely would.
And then it'd be like, fuck it. She's got the sheriff with her. She's cool. They're cool. Fuck it.
Yeah, and it's not like they hang out in the living room all night. Like they leave. They fucking leave. He's like, "I'm just Dewey's like, I'm just checking out. Guys, don't drive. Be safe." And then they leave. Billy Brubaker's girlfriend, Dee Dee Mulligan 2.0 is what we should have been calling her this whole movie. We fucked up. Billy Brubaker's girlfriend is getting the beer in the garage, and the door locks.
Just another...
Door closes behind her, and then locks when she tries to go back inside. She knocks, no one responds, so she opens the garage, and then like starts to walk as it's opening, and then as she's getting close, it stops, and then goes back down. She turns around, and it's a killer! She thinks it's Jamie Kennedy. Everyone thinks it's Jamie Kennedy. Poor Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, all right, Jamie Kennedy.
You're the obvious fucking psychopath who would do some crazy shit like this.
She thinks fucking around, and she's like, oh, are you playing crazy killer, Jamie Kennedy? And the guy nods. He's like, oh, should I play the scared victim? And he keeps nodding. She's like, oh, no, mister, please don't kill me. I want to be in the sequel. She's like, yeah, real funny. Let's go. I want to go in. And then, like, he grabs her and she drops the beer. And she's like, the fuck you doing? And cuts her arm. And she's like, what the fuck is going on? It backs up, snatches over by the fridge. He runs at her and she flings open the freezer door. And it just takes him out. This the one thing. The killer, the flops he takes when he gets hit. He's just flying around the place when he's getting hit.
For someone who's so athletic, apparently, I mean, he is also a fucking dutz. I mean, he is...
Well, he's taking the hits, and he knows how to roll with the hits. It's like in high school, Mr. Escalera, he's a big dude. He was a big Spanish teacher. I saw him fall down the stairs.
Oh, my God.
It was fantastic. Mr. Escalera is like 280 pounds. He's a big guy. I don't want to oversell it. Mr. Escalera, I'm sorry. Mr. Escalera was like 250 pounds. 80 sounds like a bit much. And he fell. He's like midway through. He fell, and I swear to God, he rolled with it and then ended up like without like having to put his hands on the ground, like get on his knees, just back up on his feet, and then kept walking. I chased him down. I was like, whoa, what the fuck was that? He's like, I played soccer my whole life. They just kept walking. I was like, this guy's fucking crazy. Like... I was like, when he started to go down, I was like, oh, we're calling 911.
Yeah, but this guy, he's just a fucking
fuck himself up. No, he falls with it. He knows how to fall.
No, he eats shit when he fucking falls.
He could be a great professional wrestler, just taking bumps all day. It's what you need.
Maybe he is.
It's what you need.
What he needs is fucking Mr. Sacco to come out of nowhere.
It'd be great if it was like Spike Dudley.
Yeah.
Someone who just took a lot of falls. Someone who got beat up a lot. Like Spike Dudley is just like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah. But then she's fucking crawling around, and they're chasing around the fucking garage, and then she tries to make it out.
Real quick, she throws 2 beers at him.
Oh, yeah. Fucking socks him in the stomach and then in the face.
It shatters. Like, he would be fucking out.
And if
a full beer hits you right in the face,
you'd be gushing blood.
Yeah, you're not getting rid of it. But he hops up and then runs at her, and she does like a fucking angle slam, flip over her back.
It was like a weird...
Like this guy's fucking down for the count if this is happening.
Dude, yeah, and then it's like if you're the girl... Okay, so I don't even... David, I'm going to bitch so fucking hard. I'm going to try not to. She tries to crawl out the garage. There's like a doggy door to the garage.
Also, I've never seen a garage with one of those.
Neither have I.
I've only seen actual doors with them.
And then So then she's trying to make it out. She could have easily made it out. Like, the way they were showing it was like she was trying to struggle for too long when it's like, no, she can easily make it through this doggy door and make it out. Then, I guess, he's fine. So
maybe she does make it out.
Maybe she does. But he hits the fucking button for the garage door opener, and it's so fucking stupid. It pulls her when she's halfway through the doggy door, and she ends up... They don't really show it, but she ends up dying because it like crushes her against the roof of the garage, which this is so stupid. This would never happen. The garage door opener would never hurt you. Would never if you're caught in that scenario, which you would never be. The garage door opener is just going to break. You're going to stop right there and be like, oh, this is annoying. I can't get out. And now I'm stuck at the top. It's not gonna break you in fucking half, and you're just dangling dead in the fucking. It's so stupid.
I don't think you know enough about garage doors.
I grew up with
that
exact fucking one.
With the doggy door?
No.
No, so not that exact fucking one.
No, that's...
So you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Braden.
The machine, though.
Well, the fucking where you push a button? Yeah.
No,
Most
no,
garages have it.
Yeah, but I'm
Did
saying...
you ever have someone caught in the middle of the doggy door, and then when they hit the roof, the door just broke and it didn't kill them?
My point is...
Did you ever have someone caught in the doggy door of your garage door?
I didn't have a doggy door.
And then when they hit the roof, it didn't kill them? Did you ever have that scenario?
I had a very similar scenario.
Did you have that scenario?
Why has it got to be that exact scenario?
Did you have that scenario?
Yeah.
All right. Then I believe it.
No, but
so she doesn't escape and she's dead.
Yeah, but like...
Bullshit, that would never happen. Braden's right.
Because, like, dude, just the weight alone would break the garage door. Like, they probably had like 5 other people.
Dude, I believe you.
holding
I believe you. What are we doing? All right, you told me you've had that scenario. You've seen that exact thing play out. Why do we have to keep... You win. You've seen it. Congrats, man. Let's go.
Thanks, bro. Yeah,
Let's go.
because it did happen once, and it's just like,
Yeah.
The
party's over.
Well, okay,
All right.
so that's another huge thing. How the fuck did he end up in the garage with a full-on party happening throughout the rest of the house? Oh, and my bad. Forgot to tell you guys, too. She's screaming. She's fucking screaming.
Yeah,
no
but
one else in the fucking...
But hold on. Like, yeah, she screams. Whatever. How long's this podcast been?
2 hours, 15 minutes.
Yeah, we're not sitting here and spending too much time on this
feel
scene.
you.
We've talked way longer than this scene was.
You're right.
But the last thing, he just opens the door and walks back into the house.
David, I'm gonna lose my
odds
shit.
are someone's gonna see him. Someone's gonna see him.
This is the last thing I'm going to say about the scene. At that exact moment, David, I turned off the fucking movie. I was like, I'm done. I'm going to sleep. I'll watch the rest of the 35 fucking minutes of this movie tomorrow. I cannot take any more of this right now.
Is there really 35 minutes left in this movie?
Yeah.
We need to hurry the fuck up.
Yeah, from the scene. Yeah.
All right. Party's over. People are leaving. I assume because of curfew. Most of the party leaves. Nev Campbell can't find her friend because she's dead, but she doesn't fucking know that. And then her boyfriend shows up wanting to talk. And Bruce's like, you can use my parents' bedroom and talk and other stuff. You know. And he's like, subtlety. And then she's like, yeah, no, we should go talk. So they're walking upstairs. Jamie Kennedy walks up and goes, oh, man. There goes my chance with Nev Campbell. And Billy Brubaker's like, you never had a chance with her. Courtney Cox's cameraman, he has a feed of the party. He's watching a video of it. But there's a 30-second delay, which comes into play later. Spoiler, why would they tell us that if it didn't come into play later?
Yep.
30-second delay. Nev Campbell's boyfriend apologizes, and then she says, no, I've been selfish with all this post-traumatic stress. I can't just wallow in grief. I need to... I can't just wallow in the grief process and keep lying to myself about who my mom was. You know, I'm scared maybe it's hereditary. Maybe I'm going to turn out just like her. And then he says, like Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, dude.
He's out of his fucking mind.
I'm like, bro, if you're the girl, it's like, dude.
Her response is just, this isn't a movie. And he says, it's all one big movie.
Yeah.
But you can't pick your genre.
And then they start fucking.
Not yet.
Oh. Then will they start kissing?
You fucking bitch. Yeah, you. She says, you know, he says you can't pick your genre, and she said, I think I'll change it up. I think I'll be a Meg Ryan movie. And they start kissing, and she says, or maybe a good porno. And he looks at her, he's like, yeah? And she's like, yeah. And then they fuck. God damn it, Brayden. Of course they don't show. Can you imagine? They just get railed. Downstairs, they're watching Halloween, and Jamie Kennedy is explaining how Jamie Lee Curtis always got away early in movies because she played like the Virgin, and virgins can't die. And everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, you don't know this? And then he stands up and he's like, there's rules. He's like, you can't kill a virgin in the movie. You can't, you can't have sex. You can't drink or do drugs. And everyone's like, and they're drinking. He's like, yeah, I hear you. And takes a sip. And he's like, and if you leave a room, you can't ever say, I'll be right back. And Billy Brubaker goes, hey, I'm going to get some beer. You want one? He goes, yeah, please. He goes, great. I'll be right back. And everyone screams. They're like, ah. They did a good job, like, as he was, like, just right after Nev Campbell and the fucking thing, and they kind of, like, cut quickly back and forth through it.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, she's not a virgin anymore. What's gonna happen?
Uh-oh.
And now Brew goes gets beer. He says he'll be right back. Courtney Cox is in the van, and they're watching the party. And David Arquette comes and knocks on the window, and they turn it off because they don't want him to know that they're
Spying
watching
on
the
fucking
kids' party.
Jesus.
And he said, hey, I got a call about a car in the bushes that I gotta go check out. You want to come with me? Inappropriate. And she's like, yeah, sure. And then he insists that they walk. She, like, walks to go get in his car. And he's like, no, it's a nice night. Why don't we walk?
It's probably like miles away.
Whatever. And she's like, all right. And then he looks in the sky and goes, you know what that constellation is right there? And she goes, no, what is it? And he's like, I don't know. That's why I was asking you. Which is great.
Yeah. Totally his character, you know?
Now, Bruce says, now some more people are leaving. And they ask him about his girlfriend. And he's like, I don't know. She probably got pissed at me and bailed. Jamie Kennedy points out the obligatory tit shot in the movie. He's like, oh, get ready. Here's the obligatory tit shot. And as it happens in the movie they're watching, Nev Campbell takes off her shirt upstairs with her boyfriend. There's the obligatory tit shot. Phone rings. And Jamie can't... It's not his house, but he answers it, which I respect. He answers it. And,
which I respect.
And he finds out that the Fonz is dead. And when he tells everyone, they all go crazy. They're like, yeah, let's go. I assume that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, it is exactly what I was talking about.
They're like, let's go. We're going to the football field. We're going to go, like, they're going to go celebrate at the school that the principal's dead.
Yeah.
But in that group, it was the two guys who got expelled earlier. And the Fonz threatened their life with a pair of scissors.
You're probably right when you say that, but the way I took it when I watched it was that they got scared and they wanted to go run.
Oh,
home.
no.
So I guess I was wrong.
They celebrated and then, like, were cheering. Yeah, they were pumped. They said, we're going to the football field.
Wow.
Yeah, there's no probably about it. I'm absolutely right.
That's very fucked up.
Yeah, well, the two kids, he threatened their lives.
Yeah, but
kill or be killed.
Come on, Fonzie's great.
Not to those guys. He expelled them from school and held scissors.
They deserved it.
Scissors against. I wonder though. I wonder if the paperwork went through. They might be able to fucking show up on Monday and just go to school.
Dude, you're right.
Yeah,
because it's their word now against a dead person.
That might be the best thing that ever happened to those two kids. Him dying.
Yeah,
they get a new lease on life. He was old as fuck. These two kids get a second chance. You know how rare that is to get a second chance in this world? They got it. They fucking got it. So David Arquette and Courtney Cox are walking, and they're flirting with each other, talking about why he's called Dewey and not Dwight. The kids are fucking flying by in the cars. And they are not going to stop or swerve even a little bit to not hit David Arquette and Courtney Cox. They dive off the side of the road and roll down.
And if it's a small town, you probably know those cars.
Yeah, he knows who they are. They end up with David Arquette on top of Courtney Cox. They kiss. And then he goes, I'm on duty. And then she looks off to the side and says, isn't that what you're looking for? And he goes... my whole life. And she goes, no, that. And they look, and it's a car. And he fucks up. It's a car, and he's like, oh, my God. And goes up to it, and she goes, what? And he's like, this is Nev Campbell's dad's car. You don't tell the reporter that. What are you doing?
My thing is, though, in that moment, she seemed like she was actually into him. I'm like, wait. So now is she into him, or is she playing him?
Well, he just saved her life. They were going to get hit by those cars.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, do you think she's still playing him at this point, or do you think she just like really kissed him?
It's tough to say. They don't have any like real dialogue.
I just got
with
confused at that point because I was like, she seems like she's actually into him.
She was absolutely playing him 100%
in the beginning
up to that point.
Yeah.
Now who knows?
Okay.
But she still did like she had no way of knowing that was Nev Campbell's dad's car, and now she knows that, so she's still getting shit out of it.
It was just the way that she was acting towards
still be
him.
playing him. Maybe she's gonna fuck him, and then still like be like, so
That's some reporter shit
about
right
that
there.
murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, good on her. Good on Courtney Cox. Nev Campbell and her boyfriend are getting dressed, and she asked who he called when he got arrested with his one call. He says, I called my dad, and she's like, no, sheriff, whatever called your dad. I was there. And he goes, yeah, because when I called, he didn't answer. And she's like, huh. He's like, what do you, like, what, huh? Like, he's fucking like, what the fuck you talking about? He's like, I just think it would be pretty clever if you used your one call on me. So, like, he was the one that called Homegirl's house asking for her. And, like, he's still the killer, which is bad. Like, he made the call and he has the voice box in jail to call and do the killer voice. Like, we don't know there's a voice box. I just blew that. Yeah. Guys, there's a voice box. People don't sound the way the killer sounds in this movie.
Yeah.
But, what are the odds he would be able to do that? Like, that's fucking... That's some weird trust issue shit.
I'm pretty sure... He's like, I don't know, because I've never been in this position, but I'm pretty sure when you do your one call, there's probably a cop right by you.
Yeah, there's no way... And they've searched you at this point.
And now they searched you, and now...
They would have searched him and found a voice box on him. What the fuck is this?
And they would
have talked into him like... And like, hey, Sydney, is this what the killer sounded like? And it's crazy that she thinks it's him.
And they have literal detectives that are going into this case and like doing legitimate detective work to where, they would have. It is
silly that she fucked him, and then immediately is like, so like, was it you?
Yeah,
like, fucking crazy.
Well, and he's like, you really think it's still me? She's like, no. Like she can't even say confidently.
No. He gets angry and defensive, and then the fucking killer comes in, and fucking cuts him like right in front of him, right in front of her, stabs him in the chest, and then like he turns around and looks her in the eyes as he collapses.
Well, and he goes,
dead.
Sydney, and like
falls. What a life she has, huh?
Yeah. Everyone that's dying around her has to look at her and be like, Sydney, and like give their last breath to her. It's fucking right before, and if you know you're dying and you know she's about to be killed and you have like one last little bit of energy, maybe not spend it looking at her saying that. Like, maybe try to do something.
Come, what do you?
Yeah, maybe
you're dying. You're gonna have the wherewithal to do all that. I do it. And
fight or flight.
I'd be like, it's your fault. This is your fault.
Yeah, and if you're gonna say anything,
if I ever like committed mass murders or fucking did anything crazy to where I was getting put to death, and it was one of those things like the families of my victims came and watched me get put to death, I would not give them any closure. I would be like, your fucking husband died like a pig, you bitch. That's how I would go out. Total side thing. 10 times out of 10, that's what I'm doing.
Dude, you might as well. If you're going to go to the point to where you're murdering people and shit, you might as well.
I'm like, I'm dying. They're going to put drugs in my veins and I'm going to fall asleep. I slowly killed your dad. Like, that's what I'm doing.
Jesus.
I'm going to be crazy about it.
That's cruel. David.
To the point where I kind of hope it all happens.
Oh, God.
I hope like 40 years from now I'm in that situation.
Maybe you just need to write a horror script.
Nope. I need to live it. No writing. So the killer chases her through the house some, and she escapes through a window.
Oh, she doesn't escape through a window.
Come on. She escapes through a window, but as she's out on the roof, he grabs her, and then like they struggle, and he pushes her off the roof.
And this gives me some problems.
She falls on a boat and just rolls off like nothing happened.
Bro, so
like nothing. It's a boat cover too, like
it's a boat covered, and they do this. And, they did it, obviously, on this set as if they were being slick. They probably put a shit ton of padding underneath because there's a cover that's covering the boat. And, bro, on any boat, if you fall, it doesn't matter if there's a cover there. That's not covering the seat and the other metal poles.
She would have been in so much pain.
You'd be probably dead. She'd probably be paralyzed because she broke her fucking spine falling on a metal pole that is like the outline of the seat or some shit, Yeah.
But she's fine.
She
rolls off, sees her dead friend in the garage, and is like, oh, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And then runs away.
Yeah, and then Well,
Nope, not
now
yet.
we see
Jamie Kennedy watching Halloween
Yeah.
by himself on the couch, and he just keeps telling Jamie Lee Curtis to turn around.
once again whose house is this again?
It says Billy Brubaker's.
And he's just once again he doesn't give a fuck about going home. The guy on the couch.
Jamie Kennedy? He's
Yeah.
off. It's his boy's house.
So fuck it. Everyone else
He
left
already... So the curfew is passed.
Yeah.
At this point, he'd be violating curfew if he left
and he's like, fuck
his
it.
house. He's like, this is where I am tonight.
Yeah.
Like, if I drive out there and get pulled over, I'm violating curfew.
And I'm
There's
drinking
some
and
kind of
driving.
penalty for it.
Yeah.
And I'll get a fucking DUI.
Yeah.
Ruin. He seems like a smart enough kid. Like, ruins college.
Yeah.
Just that's out the window at that point.
Okay. Makes sense.
But he keeps yelling at Jamie Lee Curtis. He's like, look behind you. Turn around. Turn around, Jamie. And as he's doing this, the killer's behind him. Right by
Just
like,
taking
like
his
he needs to
sweet
turn around.
fucking time, just being like,
and he's
should
lifting
I
the knife
stab
behind him. And then the killer hears a scream and like kind of looks that way.
And I thought, like, was it too much to just stab him real quick? He heard the scream. He's like, oh, it's going to be too much of an inconvenience to stab this guy now.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. What are you,
Like,
what are you
the
even
fuck?
talking about? Nev Campbell runs up to the van, and fat ass Kenny, the cameraman's asleep, and he wakes up when he gets there, and she's like, "Fucking killer's after me. He's crazy." And then they're watching on the screen. It's Jamie Kennedy being like, "Turn around, turn around." The killer's behind him, and they're yelling, "Turn around!" at Jamie Kennedy,
Which is funny. That's a joke for sure.
And then absolutely, absolutely. Then they see the part where there's the scream, and the killer then reacts to it and goes that way. And the cameraman's like, "Oh shit!" Opens the van and looks. The door's open.
Yeah.
She's like, "What?" He goes, "There's a 30-second delay."
And because no one has any type of peripheral vision or any type of awareness that's outside of the fucking straightforward vision.
Well, people don't.
The screamer comes out fucking, what do we call him? Just scream?
I've been calling him the killer, but Screamer?
I don't know. It's called
Screamer is what you went with?
fucking, the movie's called Scream. I don't know.
I've
The
just
Scream
been
character.
saying the killer.
The killer, he comes out just from the side of the van and just fucking slits Buddy's throat. So now she's freaking out. She fucking screams and runs.
She closes the van door. He stabs her in the shoulder
Oh, yeah.
when
that's
she
right.
closes the van door. She
And there
gets
just
it
happened to be
closed
a
and-
small fucking, it's not a door. It's just like a small little narrow way underneath like a desk in the van or some shit. I don't know what to call it.
It was weird that there was that little of a way to get out of the van.
Yeah, in the back too.
Like
yeah.
you'd think it would have been wide open.
Yeah, but
Instead, she crawled through that little thing. I don't know what that was. You wouldn't completely block out the van from being able to exit.
That's what I thought, but I think what they were trying to set up was like as if there was like it was a desk of some sort with shit on top of it, and she was able to crawl out like the bottom.
Yeah, and she did, and she runs away.
Which they had those doors open anyway, so I'm like, why the fuck are the doors open? Right?
I don't know.
You know?
I don't know.
They just leave them open?
Let's
Yeah,
not
no,
poke.
I
yeah,
feel you.
I thought she opened it. I
Maybe
don't know.
she did. I don't know.
Could have, yeah. But David Arquette and Courtney Cox come up to the house, and he tells Courtney Cox to go to the van and call 911. And he goes in the house with his gun drawn, and he's calling out Nev Campbell's dad's name, which I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
He's just yelling out his name with his gun drawn.
And it doesn't. Yeah, go on.
Courtney Cox gets to the van, and there's a bloodbath on the van.
Yeah.
Dude's blood is everywhere. She gets in. She calls 911. And then Jamie Kennedy pops up. He's like, what's going on? And she fucking beats him over the head with the phone. And then tries to do the windshield wipers, and it's just more blood.
Which is
getting all
ridiculous.
over the
like,
place.
How did he get that much blood all over the fucking window?
I mean, fat guys bleed a lot. When she when she starts to drive, fucking fat ass falls down the windshield and on the hood, and she screams, and then he falls off the side. She peels off. She's going away. Nev Campbell's in the middle of the road like, stop. And she's like, nah, fuck that. And then swerves and goes off the road and crashes.
All those things piss me off. How strong is the fucking killer to be able to put this fat dude on top of the...
Really, really strong, dude. Like, what do we... Come on.
Okay, and then the next thing is they made it seem as if she went within a literal 20-foot span from 0 to 100. Courtney Cox, to when she's driving, and It was like
That
way
van's
less.
got really good getup, dude.
It's way less than 100
Dude,
feet.
that van, it's the same manufacturers who do Peterbilt. And
Just
you
put
know
that-
how good Peterbilt's getup is.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't like the fact it just seemed cheap the way that she loses control of this fucking car.
I mean, she didn't want to hit Nev Campbell. She went off the road.
No, but doesn't know where the brakes are.
She doesn't normally drive. Kenny's fat ass is normally the driver.
You
got more stuff you want me to poke holes in?
I would have enjoyed if they would have just showed that the brakes went out and that something like that, and then there was no way for her to hit the fucking brakes.
I would have been fucking furious if the brakes went out.
Something, bro, because she goes off the road and it takes like an extra quarter mile.
What are the odds?
But it takes like her a quarter mile to hit the. She doesn't hit the brakes. She runs into a fucking tree after a quarter mile.
But the brakes go out. It wasn't a quarter mile. Think of how long a quarter mile
That's
is.
what I'm saying. It was far. It
wasn't that far. It wasn't a quarter mile, dude.
It was way farther than it took for her to go to 100 miles per hour.
Way further than it should have been, but it wasn't a quarter mile.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, it was just ridiculous. All right, fuck that scene.
Nev Campbell sees David Arquette at the door, and she's like, Dewey! And he's like, Nev Campbell? And then he he makes a face and then falls, and there's a knife in his back. And she's like, what the fuck? And then the killer steps out of the house, and she gets in the police car and locks all the doors, and then goes to start it, but realizes,
her too.
Yeah, he's right there. She's in the car. She locks all the doors. She rolls up the fucking crank window, and then goes to start the car. Realizes the keys aren't there, and the killer taps on the window with the knife, and then jingles the keys, which is fucking great.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh shit, and then he ducks down and gets low and starts unlocking doors to the car. And she's unlocking them, and then she realizes that she's in a police car. There's a fucking police radio, and she like pulls up, and she's like, "Oh, I'm at fucking whoever's house. Things there." And while she's saying this, the back hatch of the car is slowly opening,
the trunk,
and killer like fucking starts hitting her, grabs her.
Well, that killed me because I'm like, dude, he's just so like they made it seem as if he was able to sneak in from the trunk through the middle like seats into the back seat to where she had no idea. I understand if he makes it through that, but not to. He's like 6'2". He's not sneaking through that to where she has no idea in a hyper aware state that he's snuck into the back. It's just so stupid to me. I'm like, bro, come on, you guys are killing me here.
You just got that tunnel vision. That's what we were just talking about. We're just talking about tunnel vision.
But you would feel the car rocking.
One track mind, you wouldn't feel shit, bro. You wouldn't feel shit. She, so they fight, and she gets out.
Yeah.
And then, like, runs to the door, grabs David Arquette's gun from his waist, turns around, the killer's not there, and Jamie Kennedy and Billy Brubaker both come up, and she's pointing the gun at them, and they're both like, he's doing it. He's like, no, he's doing it. Like, they're pointing fingers like, he's fucking killing people around here. They're both going crazy. It's a whole like, who do I trust? And she's like, no, fuck both of you. And she goes in the house, locks the door, and they're screaming and banging on the door. And then,
well, they're making it seem too like as if Shaggy Billy is beating the shit out of what's his name. That's how they're making it seem. That's how it sounded. Like the sounds were like as if he, because they were accusing each other of both being the killers.
Yeah, so beating the shit out of them. It sounded like they could have been fighting.
That's what I'm saying. Like they sound like they were fighting because what's his name? Billy he thought that he murdered. Well, that's how he was making it seem. So he was saying like he's the murderer. He killed him, and that's where they're both kind of like pointing fingers, kind of like the Spider-Man thing. And and it sounded like they were tussling once when she closed the door.
Could have been.
Yeah.
But then she looks, and her boyfriend is rolling down the stairs with his fucking front all cut up. Yeah. And she's like, holy shit! And she runs up. She's like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? He's like, I'm fine. He's like, give me the gun. And she gives him the gun, and he goes up to the door, and he lets Jamie Kennedy in. Billy Brubaker isn't right there. And he's like, man, Bruce flipping out. He's gone mad out there. And then Nev Campbell's boyfriend makes a weird face and says, we all go a little mad sometimes. And then shoots Jamie Kennedy. Then he says, Anthony Perkins, psycho.
right there.
And then touches the blood on his shirt and licks it and goes, corn syrup. Same thing they use for pig's blood in Carrie.
Exactly.
So he's naming horror movies and like shit from it.
So we find out some pretty hard shit. What stood out to me was, why the fuck did he roll down the stairs then? Like if he was 2 seconds
away. It was
away.
A controlled roll.
No, for sure.
Sure. Gotta make it realistic.
But like he still could have just like limped down the stairs. Like he didn't have to fucking like
whatever. He felt comfortable rolling, thought that added to it.
It just would have been so funny if he like and like let's say it's real life. He does this, like he really thinks he's trying to trick her and just like hurts his knee. Now he's like fucking Peter Griffin.
Now he can't he can't
Yeah,
he can't fucking produce now. He's like, I'm out for weeks.
Yeah.
Fucking
like,
knee.
Yeah.
So then she starts to run away, and she runs into Billy Brubaker, and she's like, "Oh my god, Billy, Brew, he just shot Jamie Kennedy and all that stuff." And like Brubaker looks fucking distraught. He's distraught. He's like, "Oh my god," and then he kind of smiles and puts the voice box up against and goes, "Surprise, Nev Campbell," or whatever, Cindy. Surprise, Cindy.
And this is where I'm like, okay, the movie's getting better.
Plot fucking thickens.
Yeah.
And then, like, she's in the kitchen and they corner her and they talk about how they're going to ask her some questions. And if she gets them wrong, she dies. But if she gets them right, she dies. And she says, "You'll never get away with this." And then they're like, "We got away with it when we killed your fucking mom." He's like, "Framing Ray Donovan was pretty easy, huh?" And she's like, "What?" And they call her mom she's like, "Why would you kill my mom?" And they said, "Isn't that's the beauty of it? The scariest killers are the ones without motives."
Yeah.
Like and then her brother's like, "We did that slut or not her brother. Her boyfriend's like, "We did that slut a favor. So we were fucking every guy she could. She needed to be put down." And he goes, "But how's this for a motive? Your slut mother was fucking my father and is the reason that my mother left. That good enough motive for you? Child abandonment, that's hard. It makes people do some dark stuff. You know, that's why you just fucked a psychopath tonight." Like, dude, this guy is fucking great. I'm like, oh, this guy, he should have been talking this whole movie.
Yeah.
This guy is so good. This guy's so good. And before that, he was like Ryan Gosling.
Do you wish that they would have not waited as long for him to?
Nah, it was the perfect time for them to
okay.
show us all this.
Yeah.
I just want a spin-off
You just want to see more of him.
where we also see him like fully doing all this shit.
Yeah. Because I mean, he sucks it up. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he does. It's great at the end.
And Bruce's like, "Oh, that's right. You gave it up to him. You're not a virgin anymore, so we're allowed to kill you." He said, "Now you gotta die. Those are the rules." And and then Brew gets super excited when her boyfriend like motions towards away. He's like, "Oh my god!" Starts clapping. He's like, "Oh, we got such a great surprise. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it." And then he comes back and they have her dad. He's duct tape over his mouth. He's all tied up, and he just throws him on the ground.
Which is wild.
Her boyfriend has his arms wrapped around her and like seductively goes, "Oh, you see that? It's midnight. Exactly 1 year since we killed your mom. Congratulations." Brew then plants the cell phone and the voice box on Dad, and they explain that they're going to frame him and say that he went on a big killing spree, but only left two survivors. Us two.
Yeah.
And then blew his brains out. And he's like, but he's like, we got to make it look realistic though. And then he goes, "Watch this," and takes a knife and stabs Billy Brubaker in the side, and then hands Billy Brubaker the knife. He's like, "All right, remember, do it on the side and don't go too deep." He's like, all right. And then stabs him, and he goes, "Oh, fucking asshole." He's like, "Sorry, I got a little too into it." Yeah. And then he's like, "Give me the knife." Billy Brubaker's like, "No." I don't want to give you. He's like, "You got to give me the fucking thing." Gives him the knife, and he stabs him a couple more times.
Or he like slashes his like arm or something like that.
They cut each other up.
Yeah.
They cut each other a whole bunch, so it's realistic that
they were fighting off
were
the
stabbed
father.
a whole bunch. The father thought they were dead. They need to stab themselves enough to where it's because he blows his brains out at the end of it.
Yeah.
It needs to be believable that he thought the job was done and it was time to go. And then Nev Campbell tells them, he's like, you guys watch way too many movies. And her boyfriend yells, don't blame the movies. And then Billy Brubaker goes, I'm feeling woozy over here, guys.
So, like, a couple things that got me, I immediately thought was, okay, well, if you guys knew you were going to have to stab each other, wouldn't you be like, this is exactly where we have to stab each other because you can't hit a liver, or kidney, or this or that? Like, I'm sure they punctured.
They're fucking high school kids.
And they're ridiculously fucking psychotic and shit.
Like, what are the odds that they
could
could do it?
The one other thing is they knew that this whole thing was going to be a big crime scene to where if both of their shirts in particularly are with what is it called, the fake blood
corn syrup, yeah, his one shirt is covered in. Also, like, Brubaker's not wearing gloves when he puts the phone in the voice box.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Dad's fingerprints are not going to be on it. Brubaker's are. Like, yeah, there's a ton of holes in what they're doing.
Yeah,
but fucking is what it is. They're high school kids. They're high school kids who killed a bunch of people. Brubaker then goes for the gun. Nev Campbell's boyfriend tells him to go get the gun. He goes to get it, and he's like, oh, we got a problem. It's not right here where I left it. And then they both, like, go up, and Courtney Cox has the gun. And she's like, how's this for an ending? I killed the news reporter, kills both you motherfuckers. And basically. Nev Campbell goes, I like that ending. And he goes, yeah, me too. There's only one problem. I see something you don't. Nev Campbell's boyfriend. And he, like, starts walking close to Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox goes to pull the trigger. Nothing happens. He then 300 style chest kicks her.
Oh yeah.
Through the front door and into a post on the front porch, and she's knocked out.
Yeah.
And he grabs the gun and goes, the safety was on.
Which is like,
the fuck?
Dude, the safety is so minuscule from that angle. It's like, how do you even see it? It's literally just like up a centimeter or not. And it's like, how the fuck do you see that?
He saw it. He's good at. He's really good at some things.
Yep.
Not stabbing Billy Brubaker, but some things.
Yeah.
He then grabs the gun and he says, Courtney Cox signing off. And before he shoots her, Billy Brubaker goes, oh shit, man. And he's like, what? He's like, her and the dad are gone. Well, I just fucking gone.
They're gone.
Yeah. He's like, oh shit, where are they? And he comes out and looks, and then the phone rings. And Nev Campbell's talking with the voice box, which is great.
She's ballsy.
She's like, want to play a game? Like, talking through the thing. And she's like, let's play. I called the cops, and takes voice box away. I called the cops, motherfuckers. You're going to prison.
And he gets fucking super upset. He fucking starts screaming.
He's like,
stabbing the couch.
You're not anywhere. Brubaker's down. He's like, come on, you gotta help me find her. He's like, I think I'm dying, man.
Yeah.
And the phone's down by him, and he picks it up and goes, hello? And Nev Campbell goes, the cops are coming. What are you gonna... Or how are you gonna tell the police why you did it? And he goes, peer pressure. I was forced to do it by this guy just immediately.
She's like, Skeet's got a motive. What about you?
He's like, peer pressure. He made me do it with him. Like, it's just great.
And then at the end, he's like...
The boyfriend grabs the phone, and he starts yelling, saying, I'm gonna cut you open just like I cut open your fucking mother. And she goes, you'll have to find me first, mama's boy. Great.
So, since you said that, this just shows how much bigger parent issues are if they're mama issues instead of daddy issues.
There we go. I mean, but you know what? Yeah, keep going. You're right.
Daddy issues, you're going to be a slut. Like, whatever. Mommy issues, you're going to be a fucking psychotic killer.
Absolutely. And look at Jason.
Exactly.
Mommy issues.
Yep.
Michael Myers. Mommy issues. That crazy Christmas movie where the dude, his mom, like, has his dad killed, but she's fucking some new dude, and that guy kills the dad, and then the guy comes and kills his mom and makes gingerbread cookies out of her skin. You know the movie I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. It's a Christmas movie.
That's a fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mommy issues.
Yeah. Didn't Marky Mark have mommy issues in that?
No. Reese Witherspoon kind of had just all over issues.
Marky
Mark, his family was... We don't know anything about his family.
Oh, yeah, because he was...
He was an orphan. He was a fucking orphan.
Yeah.
So he had
so he did have mommy and daddy issues.
Yeah, he just had I don't have parents issues.
That's
a whole different thing. Yeah. That's a whole other can of worms.
But yeah, so you heard it here first, people. Have daddy issues over mommy issues.
Billy Brubaker picks up the phone and goes, "Did you really call the cops?" And Nev Campbell says, "Yeah, they'll be here any second." He starts crying and going, "My parents are going to be so mad at me."
God.
So great. The boyfriend's looking around for her, and he goes to like a door that he thinks she might be in. And as he starts to open it, she rushes him and gets him in the chest with it's
an umbrella,
but it looked like a knife was on the end of it.
It's just a very pointy umbrella.
Okay, because she gets him in the chest, and he's fucking down.
Oh, she stabbed him twice with a very pointy
with
umbrella.
an umbrella.
Yeah.
And after, so like he's down, and then Brooke comes out and tackles her, and he's like, I always had a thing for you, Nev Campbell.
Yeah.
And they struggle for a little bit, and she hits him over the head with a vase. And then goes over, and Jamie Kennedy's alive.
Look at that.
She's like, "Oh my God, I thought you were dead." He goes, I thought I absolutely should be. I never thought I'd be so happy to be a virgin. And then Nev Campbell's boyfriend punches Jamie Kennedy in the face, and then grabs her, gets on top, starts strangling her, and says, "Say hello to your whore mother for me." And then Courtney Cox shoots him.
Oh, but right as he's about to do that, he takes the knife like he's about to stab her. And he like goes right.
Does he? Okay,
yeah.
so he's not just choking her. He stops choking. He's going to stab her?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then right as he goes to like how the killer's been doing
how
it.
Dexter does it.
Well, and like how this killer's been
How
doing
Dexter does it.
Yeah.
All right.
And like the killer in the movie. Like,
More importantly, Dexter. All right.
all right. And then he goes and she fucking shoots him in the chest. Courtney Cox.
Goes down, and
And
they...
she says... What did she say? She said... Didn't forget the safety that time.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Then they stand over the body, and Jamie Kennedy goes, "Be careful. This is the moment the supposedly dead killer comes back to life for one last scare." And right as the boyfriend like sits up to do that, she just fucking
Pops him.
right in the forehead.
Good.
Just blasts him in the fucking head and goes, "Not in my movie."
And then the dad comes out the closet.
And she's like, "Oh," and they all scream. And she's like, "Oh, Dad. Like, oh, I forgot about you."
Yeah, I forgot I put you in the same closet where I just came out of.
Goes over to get her dad, which, why would she not, I guess.
Untie him.
But, there wasn't a ton of time. And it was duct
yeah,
tape. It was
yeah.
duct tape. Might have been tough to cut it.
Well, she just thought, like, let me soak up this fucking voice on this voice box rather than cut my father.
She could have let him out, and having a fully grown man to help in this
That's what I'm
scenario
saying.
would have been helpful. But she didn't, and it worked out.
Yeah.
Dad falls, she goes get it, and then Courtney Cox is out front, and she's practicing how she's gonna report on this. And the movie ends.
And she goes and starts reporting.
She takes a couple takes.
No, they're walking through the house. She's walking into the house doing it.
Nope. They start doing it. Like, they start doing it. She's like, I think it'll sound something like this. And she's doing it, and then she's like, all right, let's take it again from the top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's practicing it to make sure she gets it right, because
Regardless, though, what the fuck is she doing? Dude, come on, bro.
her fucking job. She is a goddamn professional. She's doing her fucking job, Braden.
I just want to
Someone, real quick, no. Someone in this movie has to do their job.
and let me say,
David Arquette's taking reporters on crime scenes with him, doing crazy stuff. The Fonz is shoving knives in the little kids' throats. She's a fucking reporter.
and she reminds
Freddy Krueger's mopping floors at a high school. Courtney Cox is doing her goddamn job.
and she reminds me of my good pal friend Gail Levy, who is actually a reporter doing a fucked up crime scene case. So you know the whole thing with Gabby and Brian Laundrie and that whole fucked up.
Let's say Gabby, like you're friends with her.
Well, because
people,
Gabby.
Gabby.
This, yeah, but
You go way back, Gab. Gab.
No, I
Gab,
didn't
bro.
say it like that, but you get what I'm saying.
She died. It's fucked up, man.
Yeah, the fucked up story. Yeah, so she's covering that. Her name's Gail, and she's a reporter. I just thought that was kind of like a funny little.
She reminds you of Courtney Cox's character in here. She's fucking police
Courtney
officers
Cox's
to get
character
the lead.
is also named as Gail as well.
She's fucking police officers to get the lead.
She didn't fuck the police officer. She gave him a little.
She's flirting and kissing up on him, and she's fat shaming her cameraman.
Whoa.
You're gonna name drop a fucking news reporter, and you're gonna pick kind of a shitbag person in this movie. Be like, she reminds me a lot of my friend Gail. Gail, I don't know you, but I'm sorry Braden did that.
I didn't mean it like that. This girl's a diehard reporter, so it's like good. And Courtney Cox is a good looking girl, so it's a good compliment for Gail. Gail's a great reporter. She's doing a fucked up case, somewhat similar.
I don't think it's that fucked up. Somewhat similar. It's not somewhat similar.
I mean,
this is like 7 people were murdered and gutted. This is
based off of someone who is in a relationship with the girl. Come on.
The dude probably killed his girlfriend and then killed himself.
Somewhat similar.
No, it was a murder-suicide. Chris Benoit is somewhat similar to Gabby Petito.
No, I think this is more similar to Gabby than Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit murdered his whole fucking family, bro.
2 people. And himself.
I thought he had like more than one kid.
No, one of them's still alive. People don't talk about that.
Oh, I thought he had...
He's got a son who's alive. There's a Dark Side of the Ring on Chris Benoit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In the first scene, there's guys like, I'm David Benoit. I'm Chris Benoit's son. And you're like, what?
Holy shit.
You're like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, no, he killed his son. He's like, oh, they killed my brother. Sucks. I love my brother.
Jesus Christ. Wow, that is the dark side of the ring for sure.
Yeah, guys, that was Scream.
Didn't really make me scream.
It's a good watch. If you feel like it's not like, don't go into it expecting to be like terrified, scary movie. I was entertained.
Yeah, it's a decent movie for Halloween.
Yeah, it's an entertaining watch.
Oh, and what? Say what you said earlier.
I can't say that on the air. Are you kidding me?
No. On the beginning about when this aired, when this came out.
Oh, it came out 5 days before Christmas, which like I get. So like they made fuck you money off of it based off their invest. So like they did something right.
No, for sure.
But I'm very surprised. They're like, it's going to be our big Christmas release.
Yeah.
Instead of we have like a scary slasher movie. Let's try and do it right by Halloween. Nope.
And if
December 20th, 1996, it came out.
And if they were releasing this 5 days before Christmas, you'd think that they would have like a little bit more Christmas feel in it. Like they could have put some Christmas lights in this or something and kind of sold it to that.
So I don't think they were trying to make it a Christmas movie.
Not like make it a Christmas movie.
Movies come out around Christmas. And
no, for sure.
They're not like, let's give it a Christmas feel.
Could have, though.
Sure, they could have.
They could have.
But they didn't.
They didn't. But, it was fun. It just pissed me off. I wish, thrillers like this, horror movies were just a little bit more realistic for me. But yeah, it was entertaining.
All right, Braden, what are we doing next week? All right, guys, we just paused it and spent like 10 minutes where Braden looked at his phone. I don't know what he did. He definitely didn't come up with a movie to do next week, so he's getting skipped. And we're doing fucking Nightcrawler. Because it's late, and I was like, all right, let's not just sit here while you look at your phone. So we're doing the 2014 Jake Gyllenhaal crime thriller Nightcrawler. You want to watch Nightcrawler? You should watch Nightcrawler. I'll tell you where to watch Nightcrawler.
Where?
You can watch it on Hulu, Sling TV, Fubo TV, Amazon Prime, or Showtime with premium subscriptions. You can also rent it on YouTube, Google Play, Apple TV, or Vudu for $3.99. If you want, well, that's weird. It says you can rent it on YouTube for $3.99, and then at the bottom it says YouTube, and it says not available. That's weird. It is available on YouTube. You're wrong. Fuck you. But yeah, guys, that was Scream. That's where you can watch Nightcrawler. Sylvester Stallone is not in Nightcrawler. We might have fucked up. Should have done a Sly Stallone movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks to all 2.8 thousand of you motherfuckers who clicked on the Rambo thing at least. Baffling to me. Follow us on social media. Send us an email. Guys, maybe next week I'll be like, hey, Braden, what movie are we doing? And he'll be like, I don't even know what movies are.
Maybe.
I don't know. Like, why would we do a movie? What are you even talking about? Like,
well, yeah.
What? And I'll just be like, all right, we're doing whatever the fucking listeners wanted us to do, and then we pick that.
Yeah.
So, guys, send us your ideas.
Please.
You can email it to us, 56kings@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram. You can DM us there. It's at 56kings, FIVESIXKING. Yeah, guys. Listen, we're definitely getting this thing up on YouTube. Braden does like half of our things on YouTube.
Yeah, don't worry. We're going to come
Getting
full
this up.
throttle now on YouTube.
Turns out, they're like, oh, we'll show everyone this, guys. Why are you not putting all of your content on here?
So now we're going full throttle on YouTube.
We're YouTube guys from now on.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, check us out. Thank you for listening to the unofficial podcast of the National Football League, the 5-6 Kings podcast.
That's right.
I've been David Breen. I love you all very much. And listen to us next week. And Braden, when can they listen to us next week? That's a bad way. I'm not setting you up well for that. I'm not setting you up as well. Braden, tell the people when they can listen to us.
David, they can listen to us every motherfucking Monday on all platforms.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Peace out.